Oh, hey! Don't mind me as I do things in the background here. Don't mind me. Doing things in the background here. Here we are. Cool. All my things that I do in the background have been done. Alright. Hello. I am here. I am ready. And the other two will be here soon. Hopefully. Yo, Halo, what's up? Hey, Draco Kraken, how are you doing? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Well, welcome back to Table Talk, Discussion and Discourse. I, as always, am your host, Alejo, aka Great95. And it's what the show is here. It's time. As I was saying, unfortunately, my co-hosts are not here at the moment, but hopefully they'll be here relatively soon. Aiden has work, and Boo, I don't know where Boo is. But we'll see when they show up. They'll message me. I will see. And at some point here, the call will stop being the call, and it will just be the screen of me waiting for them in Discord. Hey Slay. Nice to get to watch live tonight. Got lost in Elden Ring last week. Fair enough. I hear good things, and at some point I will buy that game. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Because I keep hearing good things from everybody, and I'm like, maybe I'll play it. Maybe. We'll see. So, excuse me while I reach for my water, which is over here. There we go. It's a massive adventure. Yeah, I've seen a lot of shit on that, which is great. That may become me while I listen. No worries, Tracker Kraken, no worries. If you guys just, hang out, listen, that's fine too. Nightfire Gaming, hello, first time checking out the stream. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see a new face. Cool. Well, tonight we have a interesting show, hopefully, for you. We are talking about subclasses, specifically those that need a little bit of fixing. Now, I don't really think about these kinds of things for current existing content in D&D 5e, though apparently a lot of other people do, and that's pretty cool. So, we are going to cover a couple of videos, at least two. We'll see how long we go through them. But a couple of videos talking about these. There it goes. These classes and the fixes that people have for them. Now, I pre-watched these videos for like a minute or two, so I know at least the subject matter, and I have a couple of things here to start off with. So let's go over the first thing here that we're going to be talking about in the first video before we get to the video itself. I want to highlight on a page, I had it a second ago, and now I gotta flip back to it. Here we go. On page 97 of your player's handbook for 5e, we see the roguish archetypes starting. Now, rogues, pretty good, right? Pretty good classes overall. People like playing rogues. I like playing rogues. Rogues are a lot of fun, and they have a lot of variety to them, depending on what you want to do. You could be straight up a damage dealer. You could be a skill monkey. You could be whatever the hell you want. Hey, Lux, how are you? So you can do a lot, and you can combine rogue, I think, with a lot of other classes if you want to multi-class, excuse me. But their subclasses are really where they shine, I think, with how you can play them. And one subclass is a little different. It doesn't get the same amount of praise. In fact, having reread it, don't really give it too much praise, like at all. And that is Assassin. Right? Now, if you look, 97 again, in your player's handbook, Assassin has some stuff. Aside from the regular rogue things, you get your bonus proficiencies, which are quite literally just a disguise kit and a poisoner's kit for your bonus tool proficiencies. Now, forgive me, but what does a poisoner's kit even do in 5e? Let's find out together, shall we? A poisoner's kit is on page, 154? Yes. Includes the vials, chemicals, and other equipment necessary for the creation of poisons. Proficiency lets you add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks you make to craft or use poisons. Now, forgive me if I'm a little short-sighted, a little narrow-minded here, but 5e poisons, there's not a lot in my brain here about poisons. And looking at the actual equipment list, you have a basic poison for 100 gold. Now, of course, that's not to say that you can't expand upon them with, like, homebrew poison stuff, right? With your own kind of herbal system, right? You can go, oh, there's Nightshade over here, and if you combine that with, I don't know, the fucking, what's a good name for it? Like Hangman's Wart. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I don't know herbs, personally. But you can combine these kinds of things and you can make a potent poison as long as you know how. Now, with the proficiency, you could make those and then you'd have to figure them out and all that kind of stuff. And of course, hello, August. How are you? How's your leg? So you can easily kind of make those kinds of things together, though of course you have the other thing, which is the Herbalism Kit, which actually lets you try to identify and apply herbs and such, which is different than the Poisoner's Kits, which just lets you know how to put them together. Aiden might know something about it being a chemist. Yeah, it's true. And when he gets here, I'll see if he has anything to say about it. But regardless, it's one of those things that is open-ended, which is good, but I also don't know, like, if we have enough here to work with for poisons. My leg is getting better. People started noticing the swelling going down. I might be able to go home tomorrow. That's awesome, dude. I'm very glad. I hope that's the case. Because I bet just being in a hospital is fucking shit. So I'm glad that you're it's getting better. But anyway. So 3.5 has a shit ton of potions. Now I know I'm referencing a different system, but I feel like it's pretty easy for you to, if you want, go into the 3.5 poisons, which you could easily look up just by going 3.5e poisons in your browser, and then just going on to D20. No, that's poison the spell. let's see. There's probably the 3.5 wiki is a little chock full of homebrew. Yeah, just like I thought. That's how homebrew. But regardless, you can find that kind of stuff. And I thought there was a list of them that you could find. Maybe it's potions that I'm thinking that you can also find poisons on. Potion, brewing. Brew potion. That's what I need. What the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, brew potion, which is... Wait, why is this not giving me D&D stuff? It's giving me Pathfinder stuff. Like, there it is. Potions and oils. That's the one I'm thinking of. I thought in this you could also find poisons, but I might be wrong here. Yeah, I am. I'm wrong. But if I do recall correctly, which I'm now doubting myself that I do, you could find a lot of poisons in 3.5 that you could probably port over to 5e very easily. And then the skill checks become 5e skill checks, which are very small in comparison, I would say. Pathfinder 1e might have stuff online you could use too. That's also true. There is also that you could go for as well. It's really whatever you want to find for poisons and however you want to make them and shit, right? Yeah, so however you want to do it, you're going to have to expand upon the poison rule set that you're given there. Now, I haven't checked Xanathar's, now that I think about it, to see if there's any mention of poisons. Because Xanathar's was good with adding a bunch of shit, which was, like, great. And I'm not saying shit in the derogative term in this case, of course. I'm just saying there was a lot of stuff here. And I don't know if it had it. Anyway, I'm going too deep into poison right now. So, regardless of that, that's what you get at your 3rd level. And you get Assassinate as an assassin. Crazy that. Which gives you advantage on attack rolls against a creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat. Sure. Which very much makes it so you have to go first if you want to be as effective as you can be. Because this is the skill line that you wanted. In addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit. Now, this would only apply during the surprised condition. I have a problem with this because the surprise condition is rare to me. Perhaps if you're in a game that does it a lot more frequently, maybe this isn't as much of a problem. But I usually go for surprise rounds when I do games. Maybe other people do too. I don't know. If you do, there you go. But surprise rounds would last a round, and that's usually how it goes for the surprise condition as well in D&D. You get surprised, and then you go on your turn, you do nothing. You are surprised. And then after that, it is your turn. Basically the same thing, except they're just not in the initiative, right? Paizo also has ingredients for some alchemical weapons and poisons for expanded alchemy rules. Having exact ingredients speeds up the crafting, which tends to be long and tedious. There you go. Sure. You want to include that into 5e? Do it, you know? Pick and cannibalize every system that you, like, have a nice, what you like out of it, and then just figure out how it works in that system, like we've always said. But anyway. So, surprises, surprise rounds, all that kind of stuff, it's literally just in the first instant. And to me, this feels a lot like you're playing one character in a single-player campaign, right? Like, one DM, one character, or one player, and that's how Assassin feels to me. I could be wrong. That could just be me, right? But it really seems to lend itself to this kind of thing, because to build off that, you have, let's see, it would be, yes, here we go. Infiltration Expertise. Now, so this could be a downtime thing too, depending, but I don't know. Hello, Indigo, how are you? So with Infiltration Expertise at 9th level, you create false identities for yourself. You spend 25 gold. You spend 7 days establishing the entire background of your character's new identities. And that's it. Everybody believes you are that person until you give a reason not to, which very easy to not like fuck that up, right? Like it's a cool skill, don't get me wrong, but I feel like this is something that anyone could do that's any rogue, right? Not just an assassin, not just any character. I think any rogue, any kind of I guess more kind of well, I think any character could do it, maybe. I don't know. Doing good, almost finished packing. That's good. Getting a lot of lag tonight. I think I'm up to 20 seconds behind right now. Oh. Well, I'm good on my end. It might just be because we're doing 1080p now for the stream. That might be adding a bit, so I apologize. But quality, unfortunately, means the bigger number. But anyway, so I feel like Infiltration Expertise is a great skill, but having it be specifically for an assassin kind of makes it weird. I understand the reasoning, right? The reasoning is you are an assassin, you're living in this place so that you can create a false identity so that you can track your target and stuff. But again, it feels really, really single player instead of group, you know? We're going to take 7 days. I'm going to be doing this over 7 days, or we have the downtime thing, right? You never realize how much stuff you have until you pack 6 shelves of RPG books and board games. Oh yeah, dude. I feel you. The most common assassin changes often involve removing and adding a new ability at 9th and making Assassinate a more streamlined to pull off, easier for less damage, or give it more utility. There you go. Yeah. Hopefully that's what we see in these upcoming videos. We'll see. I would love to see what people have as examples. Usually what we do is just criticize or compliment the how they implement those kinds of abilities and if they're too strong or not. So we'll see how it goes. Because that all sounds fine to me, like just on paper, of just like, oh, let's change the ability out. Good idea. This needs to be something that anyone can do, I think. Down to 480 with me. Well, there you go. 6 is a lot. Oh, sorry. I meant 6 bookcases of shelves. Wow. It's crazy. 6 is a lot. How far are you moving? Yeah, that's a good question. If you're moving pretty far, then, you know, that's unfortunate for how much you have to move. But anyway, so Imposter is cool, which is the next ability you get at 13th level. You gain the ability to unerringly mimic another person's speech, writing, and behavior. You must spend at least 3 hours studying these 3 components of the person's behavior: listening to speech, examining handwriting, and observing mannerisms. Your ruse is indiscernible to the casual observer. If a wary creature suspects something is amiss, you have advantage on any charisma deception check you make to avoid detection, right? Now, I read that entire thing to you because Xanathar's guide has on page 46 your Mastermind subclass of Rogue. And I like the Mastermind a lot. The Mastermind is one of my favorite subclasses for Rogue. But let me tell you about Insightful, or no, sorry, not Insightful. Where is it? Here it is. Master of Intrigue at 3rd level. When you take this subclass, When you choose this archetype at 3rd level, you gain proficiency with the Disguise Kit, the Forgery Kit, and 1 gaming set of your choice. You also learn 2 languages of your choice. Additionally, you can unerringly mimic the speech patterns and accent of a creature that you hear speak for at least 1 minute, enabling you to pass yourself off as a native speaker of a particular land, provided that you know the language. Huh. It seems like they took Imposter, they took bits out of that, and they went into Master of Intrigue with it for your mastermind. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm saying that it makes it so Assassin's Imposter feels a lot less relevant, because that takes 3 hours to do every single thing in order to do a specific person, right? So, not entirely irrelevant. I'll grant you this. You can become this person. But with Master of Intrigue, you can already do the speech thing. So I would argue with the accent and all that stuff, you can already kind of pass yourself off mostly as whoever it is. And then with the Disguise Kit and Forgery Kit, like proficiencies, you also can do this. You can do what you can with Imposter, and it doesn't take you 3 hours. You know? Obviously, you need to... I would also argue with Imposter that you would need to know the language in order to be an imposter of somebody, right? Across towns to staying local, but still many heavy boxes. Oh, geez. Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'm glad that it's not too far, but yeah, having so many, it's crazy. Anyway, so that's, and then the last thing is Death Strike, which is fine. It's a fine skill. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, I don't think. You can potentially just do double damage, against a creature when you do your Death Strike, which can be combined with your Assassinate, which your Assassinate already kind of sucks, in the sense of the crit not ever happening, except for once. But after that, like at 17th level, then I feel like you're doing better. So, Assassin's weird. Assassin is strange, and it's the one that I kind of went into the most, because Rogue is very, very interesting. I like rogues a lot. Mastermind needs it to be more detailed given the purpose it would use over an assassin, which tends to be one and done. That said, Imposter's not great. Yeah. Well, so this is the thing. I think it's as detailed as Imposter, because you can do it whenever. That's the thing. With, it feels as detailed as Imposter, and it feels like, Imposter is just... If you're doing that, again, it feels really weird to have it be a single... Like, in a team, a group storytelling kind of thing. Unless you're taking a lot of downtime in between, you're doing this very little, I think. I guess you killed the person you're being an imposter for. You are impostering, if you will. And then... What? In that downtime, you killed a man and you became him. Neat. Like, it could be good, but it's strange, I think. So anyway, that's my look at Assassin. Now, there are more than just Assassin for these classes, as you can see on the thumbnail, if you clicked it, or if you looked at it. So, we will start with Assassin, but we will move on from there, because in one of these videos, we're talking about my favorite book, the one that is always forgotten. By favorite, I mean because it is so lost that no one talks about it, because they've buried it forever. Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. That is something that we're going to be looking into a little bit, which is great. In practice, I'd probably go with some kind of bard for social infiltration skills. So I would go with a mastermind, right? Like that's just it, right? Either a mastermind or a bard, or just a high charisma person. Doesn't need to be the assassin, right? The assassin feels strange. Anyway, let's move on to the video. This is... Oh, why is that up? Hold on. Sorry. Why is that up? We don't need that. Alright, there we go. This is... There it is. The first video called Fixing the Assassin Rogue D&D 5e Subclass Revision. This is brought to us by Flutes Loot. So, we'll see what Flutes Loot has to say.
Hey looters, today I want to talk to try to fix the Assassin Rogue, my own homebrew version of it. I think you're really going to like it today on Flutes Loot.
I'm going to turn it up a bit here.
Before I begin, if you're new here, I'm Flutes, my wife is Opal, and we maintain this Flutes Loot channel. Our videos are paired with articles on our website, flutesloot.com.
Oh, cool.
You can read along by following the link in the description. We've got heaps of content for you there to help you out with your D&D games, whether you're a player or a DM. Bookmark that site and subscribe to this channel.
Oh, well, there you go.
Getting into my Assassin Overhaul, my homebrew revision of it, I want to say that this is a subclass that I've really wanted to be good for a long time. My very first character started out as an assassin in the D&D Next rules, and then when D&D 5th edition officially came out, I switched it to Arcane Trickster because I had multi-class with a wizard, and so Arcane Trickster just made sense. But Assassin was really fun for me to try to get those auto crits and surprise people. But I've since learned just how difficult it is for the assassin to pull that off in a lot of gaming groups, and how one-dimensional it is to make the assassin try to do that and then just be a regular rogue the rest of the time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's the other thing about assassins. They do that thing. They do that thing one time, and then they become a rogue. They just become a regular guy until they're like 17th level. And then they start doing double damage. And that's it. When they make a skill roll. When the opposing party makes a resistance roll, if you will. And that sucks, because you would think that assassins would have some really cool stuff. But they don't. I remember, back in my day, that being when I first played 3.5, the ability to become an assassin was locked behind killing a man. But I'm not saying to bring that back, I'm just saying that was a thing. I didn't play an assassin when I was playing 3.5. I never have. I remember the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. It's my favorite book. There you go. I have it right here next to me. Ready and waiting to go. Just to talk about. I'd probably help the assassin reach the target, so that could make it an actual group effort and not just one person doing something on their own. So yes, absolutely. What I'm saying is, for the assassin, for them to use their abilities that they're given, they need time. They need to do it on their own, really, quote unquote. Like, it doesn't feel like something that's a part of a group. You can obviously flavor it and do things as part of a group, but core raw rules, right? It doesn't feel like it's a group player, which is weird. I've looked at Flute's Assassin Reroute prior when I talked to a DM about using a revision of the subclass. Oh, cool. Well, there you go. You'll know what we're talking about then. If anyone doesn't know, Emoin is from 1990s Baldur's Gate computer games, not Dark Alliance. Yes, that's true. I recognize the art because I played a bit of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I never finished them. They're cool, though. I'm bad at them.
So I think my revision has changed that, and I think I've made the assassin better at what it already was, and make it cooler outside of just that surprise attack at the beginning of combat.
Yeah.
Now, I'm open to feedback. I've already changed this like once or twice based on some feedback I got, but I've run the numbers, and I think everything's fine for what I want the assassin to achieve. And I've heard some people say the same. They say, this is an assassin. They should be good at taking out single targets. At level 3, I first changed the ability of bonus proficiencies, that's a really boring name, and I made it Tricks of the Trade is the new name for it. I kept it the same, you still get proficiency.
I just realized that, like, I'm not even on the thing. Hilarious. Hello. Here I am. Sorry, I was hiding. Alright, Tricks of the Trade, which is instead of the first thing. Okay. I just want to have this open so that I'm looking at it as well to compare. Sorry. What? Where am I? Why am I at Paladin? This isn't right. I need 90 fucking 7. There we go. At 3rd level, gain proficiency with disguise kits, poison, or kits. Same thing. You can also add your proficiency bonus to initiative rolls. Okay. Your resourceful efficiency allows you to craft disguises and poisons at half cost and time required. You have resistance to poison damage due to your time spent building up your tolerance. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So you get a resistance to poison, something that is very, 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 very uncommon. In the sense of usage. I don't remember the last time I've been hit with poison damage, but then again, that is just me. So that's not necessarily a negative. It does mean that you, I guess if there's like poison gas or something, that you can probably run through it better than other people. Craft disguises and poisons at half the cost and time required. Now, this brings up an interesting question for me at least. How long does it require you to craft a disguise or craft poisons? Because the system doesn't really have those rules. So I guess whatever your DM has come up with, / you have to make your DM now figure out rules for those. Which is fine, don't get me wrong. This is as if there is something for you to go off of. And I'm trying to find, in Xanathar's at least, to see if either of these has anything in it about that. There we go. No. Not... Wait. Oh, Disguise Kit. Oh, Disguise Kit has the littlest... Oh, that's not good. Wait. Oh, no. I'm just bad at reading. Sorry. On page 81 of Xanathar's Guide is where I'm at. Okay, create disguise. Ah, here we go. As part of a long rest, you can create a disguise. It takes you 1 minute to don such a disguise once you have created it. You can carry only one such disguise on you at a time without drawing undue attention, unless you have a bag of holding, or a similar method to keep them hidden. Each disguise weighs 1 pound. At other times, it takes 10 minutes to craft a disguise that involves moderate changes to your appearance, and 30 minutes for one that requires more extensive changes. Okay, so what does that mean? Because if part of the long rest means that I create the disguise, that's 8 hours. And then at other times, it takes 10 minutes or 30 minutes. That's incredibly vague. Interesting. But now we have a thing to go off. So, building up tolerance to poison. So this is Princess Bride world. Yes, you drink small poisons, you get bigger poisons. Oh. Hello, sir. I saw that. I'm sorry. I was in the middle of reading, so I didn't see your stuff.
Gotcha. Are we live?
Yes, of course we are.
So, I do have a slight bit of bad news.
Oh my god.
I have tested positive for the newest strain of COVID.
Oh, fuck, dude. That sucks.
So, yeah, it's called Elden Ring COVID.
Yeah.
The side effects and symptoms are that
You
while
play
you're
Elden
recording
Ring.
a podcast, you have to play Elden Ring.
Right, you have to every time.
Yeah, I have to.
Don't worry.
I do have a doctor's note.
Okay.
I can mail you a copy, and it should arrive in 6 to 12 weeks.
Right, and in 6 to 12 weeks, then I'll look over it and see about getting your paycheck. That's right. Okay, fair enough.
In 6 to 12 weeks, what?
I'll look it over and see about getting you a paycheck. That's fair.
Hey, listen, okay. I don't get a fucking paycheck because it all goes to the dice fund.
I know. Ha ha. It all works out. It all goes towards the dice. Anyway,
Also, you roboted out super hard there because I started up Elden Ring.
I see. Don't worry, I didn't say anything important.
Okay.
So
why do I get the feeling you in fact did?
No. I just said dice fund basically.
Okay.
Well, it's good to have you here. Hello.
Good to be here.
Yeah. We're talking about fixing subclasses because there are subclasses that need fixing apparently. Of which I agree to one of them so far.
I would say if I could pick any subclass to fix, it'd probably be Assassin Rogue.
That's exactly what we're on. That's the first one. Here we are, friend.
Shocker! Wow, what a shocker! It's not like I have the watch together open.
You dick.
This. So I can
Nightfire says, one site said action creating a disguise requires 1d3 times 10 minutes of work. Not sure how accurate that is. Yeah, so, well, that's the thing. I'll get to that in a second. Hold on. Elden 19. And then, I'm sorry you got Elden Ring COVID. Hopefully you didn't get the symptoms of online multiplayer, says August.
I haven't. I've gotten the special variant called launching Steam in offline mode.
There he is. That's the one. Don't worry. Other people are playing Elden Ring while listening. You're fine. So,
all right. We all need to set up a fight club.
Oh, that'd be cool. Actually, I'd buy the game and fucking come in for that as soon as possible. Definitely.
Yeah, kind of. I would too. Actually.
Yeah. So okay. So Nightfire, you found that thing. Wherever you found that. It might be for a homebrew kind of variant, which is fair enough because 5e doesn't have the rules unless you buy Xanathars. At least in an official capacity, which is a little, unnecessary. I would think for you to go buy this just for disguise rules, right? Or needing those kinds of rules. Though obviously, just like I said in the essential books, that we went over that one time, Xanathars is a good supplement, and I would highly recommend you get it if you want to play 5e, whilst it's not necessary, right? Even buying Xanathars, the crafting is very subpar. Yes! Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Yes. Crafting is subpar in 5e. Welcome to the show.
Xanathars has crafting?
Yes! Actually...
I have Xanathars and I don't remember anything about crafting.
If you look in the tools sections, some things tell you how you use those tools, like cartographer's tools cobbler's tools let you craft a hidden compartment inside of your shoes. With 8 hours of fucking work.
I will keep my thoughts on this very minimal.
Okay.
Like the crafting mechanics.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mason's tools, I guess, as well. Anyway, so...
Made shoes of holding.
That's right. So, regardless...
I want to make... Alright, so shoes of holding, right?
Right.
I want, as an artificer, to make shoes of holding, but sort of like, you know how there's, like, boot daggers?
Yes.
Like, you click your heels and, like, a knife comes out? I want that, except the trigger for a mechanism to activate is in the toe.
Yeah.
And when I kick someone's ass, it ejects everything I have in the bag of holding out.
Yeah. Okay.
And, and just like, I don't know, kick someone's ass and then like 1,500 wheels of cheese appear, or like a shit ton of daggers.
That's the one. There it is. Um. Hey, Mongoose, how you doing? So anyway, so overall, the disguise kit surprisingly does have rules for crafting disguises, in Xanathar's only, which is unfortunate in this case. So this, I guess I don't know. I guess this assumes that either, again, your DM has figured out rules for these things, or has Xanathar's. And then I want to look at Poisoner's Kit. Where is that? Poisoner's Tools. Here we are. Oh, nice. Very good. Your proficiency allows you to handle and apply a poison without risk of exposing yourself to its effects. Yeah, thank God. That's all it says as an additional thing that you can do with it, really. Okay. So, unfortunately, the Poisoner's Kit doesn't really have anything about, like, making poisons and how long it would take. So, again, another thing where you would have to figure that out yourself. Hey, JR Sonic. I'm doing well. How are you? How are you, Aiden, actually, as well?
I would say I'm passable. I'm fighting a putrid tree spirit, and golly, it is a pain in my ass.
There you go. Anyway, let's see what he has to say about this first bit.
Proficiency with disguise kits and poisoners kits, but I added that you can add your proficiency bonus to initiative rolls. This is important because assassins need to go first.
Okay. So first off, that voice sounds remarkably how my own voice sounds to me when my voice is recorded, and I thought that was me. And
It's a little similar, I guess.
I got real confused, and I was like the SpongeBob, like, Oonga Boonga.
Yeah. Fair enough. Better explanations with the Poisoner feat using Poisoner's tools than actual Poisoner's tools. Let me go look at Poisoner feat. Then there is no Poisoner feat in this book, in the player's handbook. So let me go look. See about if there are other. I don't remember there being other feats in Xanathar's. I can't remember. I don't see. Is it a Tasha's thing?
Maybe.
It might be a Tasha's thing. Let me know.
I don't remember fucking Tasha's.
Oh, I don't remember Tasha's either. I go through my life forgetting that Tasha's exists.
I forgot about it until you said it just now.
There you go. The fetus and Tasha's. Okay. All right. There you go.
So,
I'll look it up. Go on.
Yeah, I think their level 3 is fine. Maybe perhaps a little over tweaked.
His level 3?
Yeah, the level 3 on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Just because it gives proficiency to disguise kits, proficiency to poisoners kits,
right,
proficiency to initiative.
Yep.
Allows you to craft disguises and potions at half the cost and time.
Yep.
And you have resistance to potion. Like,
poisons.
It just seems like to poisons. It just seems sort of a grab bag. I mean, yes, it does seem thematic.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that an assassin should be stronger than level 3.
Yeah, fine, I was playing Warframe and forgot what time it was. That's fair, Mongoose, no worries. So basically what he's taken is the bonus proficiencies that you get as an assassin already. and he's just given it a little bit more. That's all he's done. Which the bonus to initiative rolls would go well with the current Assassinate, though I assume that's also something he's going to change. Or just add on to again. I don't know, but with the needing to, hurt enemies first before they've taken a turn every round. I assume it's every round. I'm going to say it's every round because it doesn't say every round. It just says in the combat, which is not good wording, actually. That hasn't taken a turn in the combat yet. I can see that being misinterpreted to being before the combat has begun and then no more as well. So I think that needs to be reworded, but regardless.
I personally would not misinterpret it.
Neither would I, but
I think just though, yes, it sounds wonky, but that's kind of just because our language is a fuckery.
I guess so. Yeah. So, but regardless, yeah, the resistance, like I was saying, the resistance to poison damage is fine, but when do you see poison happening, Like,
yeah, almost no creature ever uses poison, and that's why I'm fine with it, like, just being there, because I'm like,
yeah.
dude, like, literally that will almost never, come up anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, think of how many creatures and monsters have resistance to poison anyway.
Yeah, like everything, yeah, you're right. So the Poisoner feat in Tasha's says, it allows you to ignore resistance to poison damage whenever you are the one dealing it. You can apply poison to a weapon as a bonus action rather than an action. And then if you expend 50 gold and an hour of work, you can make generic poisons. The poison is a DC 14 Constitution save, or it deals 2d8 poison damage and applies the poison condition. That's a good feat, I would say.
That's pretty good.
Since this is on a site that isn't in the actual book itself, I don't know if there's any restrictions to getting it. Because I would hope there might be maybe a level restriction.
Or a base intelligence.
Yeah, something like that. But I don't know. So if anybody knows, please let us know, because otherwise I'm hesitant. There are none. Awesome. Okay. Man, feats are really an afterthought most of the time, aren't they? In 5e. Okay. I'm less inclined to Tasha's, man. Interesting. I think I just realized I had a rogue in a campaign but never bothered to have him make the poison, says Draco Kraken. Fair enough.
I mean, when has Boris ever made poison?
Right, that's true, but also in 3.5 you have a variety to choose from, to be fair. I think. Again, I can't find poisons in 3.5 for some reason. I'd have to really scour, apparently. But I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of poisons that you can choose from. But regardless, it's one of those things that I think is thrown on the wayside because, at least for 5e specifically, you're already doing so much, and you don't craft anything. Like, that's not a thing that you do. Hell, you could be a character that is a cleric of the forge, and fucking just create things after a minute with your what's it called? Fuck. Channel divinity? Is that what it is? I don't know.
I know nothing about forge clerics.
Well, it's just whatever the class thing is. Yeah, it's channel divinity. I'm a brain in a jar. Okay. Anyway, let's continue with this.
especially in that first round of combat, so that they can at least get advantage.
Oh yeah, the artificer says hello. So they don't. The artificer doesn't make anything. The artificer enchants things to become other things. You don't make it.
That's true.
Like, there's no more making. 3.5, and I don't know about 4E. If 4E had artificers, it might have. But 3.5 was the last one that I know of that was truly crafting artificer.
Or even critically hit a creature that hasn't moved and is surprised. I have a whole article about how surprise works in D&D if you want to check that out. That'll help you understand why the assassin was kind of problematic and how I'm trying to fix it. So initiative bonus is great for this rogue. I also fed more into the Poisoner's Kit part of this because I feel like there's not a lot of support for it in D&D. That's kind of been changing with now we get like a Poisoner's Feat and stuff from Tasha's. But still, it's like, what do you do with this? What do you do with the Disguise Kit? So I just threw in that you're so used to poisons that you get resistance to poison damage. I also took some inspiration from wizard classes that can learn spells for half the cost and half the time, and made it so assassins can craft potions for half the cost and in half the time. So instead of just Disguise Kits and Poisoner's Kits, you get poison resistance, cheap, fast poisons, and initiative bonuses. And that might sound like a lot, but think about what each of those bonuses are and how impactful they are in your average game, and I think they are pretty sound. Next is the main event, the Assassinate Ability.
Okay.
It's mostly the same, but I added...
Alright. Third level attacking advantage. Haven't taken their turn. You... it's the more videos is covering it. Oh, you may also apply poison to a weapon or ammunition as a bonus action instead of an action. That's the Poisoner feat. That's what that is allowing, so you don't have to take the feat for that, which is fine with me, with the assassin, because it's all about trying to kill a guy a lot.
I don't like this.
I think
so.
It's... Okay.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because assassination is all about you you do prep and like you learn everything about your target. You do things very methodically, and then you strike, and your target is dead.
Yeah, I agree.
So, applying a poison to a weapon or ammunition as a bonus action essentially makes it so it's like attack, poison, attack.
Yep.
Or poison, attack. And it's just like that feels less like an assassin, and like I would make that I'm fine with it being an ability, but I would call it like level 5 poisoner. Oh wait, the poisoner feat already exists. Huh.
Yeah, that's the issue though.
So like your attacks becoming critical hits when hitting creatures who are surprised. Yes, that is like that screams assassin.
Well, yeah, that's already a thing. Yeah. Yeah,
but like making a poison a bonus action, no. So I would instead make it that if you use a poison, it deals a bonus 1d8. Like have it essentially be a smite that you apply.
Maybe
like
so
like
it is a smite that you're applying though, technically.
Because paladins get improved divine smite.
Sure.
And they start dealing a passive d8 smite damage.
Sure. But so my issue here is we also have to think about it being a rogue, right? It's not just an assassin, it's the rogue class first, right? This is the subclass of the rogue, and you also have to think like this isn't going to be just you prepping forever unless that is the campaign's purpose. You have to also think, how is this going to fit into a general kind of D&D session, D&D group, and is an assassin viable? Which I don't think an assassin is, really. At least currently in core, right? I don't think an assassin is very group-oriented very much. Maybe if you roleplay it and stuff, sure.
An assassin can be group oriented if he's working with other assassins.
Exactly. That's my issue, right? Unless you're all about assassination, I guess. Oh, you know what, August? That does scream ninja more. Fair enough. That that I would agree with, and that I would feel better about if this was called the ninja in that case.
Yeah.
That would feel more accurate to me. Because I agree with you, Aiden. I agree with the having the thing. Oh, you're talking about what Blaze King said. I didn't even see what Blaze King said. Sorry. How about if you miss your attack, you get a smoke bomb for free? That would also be ninja-esque. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think now that we're talking about it, why not have it be the assassin instead is the ninja, right? Because a ninja isn't necessarily on their own.
Yeah, make an ability where as a bonus action and they can make a smoke bomb that costs however much gold,
Right.
Up to DM discretion.
Maybe like 25, honestly. I guess not that bad.
Anywhere from 10 to 50.
Yeah, sure.
And they can make smoke bombs that as a bonus action they can throw down at their feet that obscures them anywhere within, like, say 15 feet.
Yeah, totally. And like
or a 15-foot radius, sorry.
And then this Assassinate would work so much better with that kind of thing, because that I would like the ninja's about coming in from the shadows.
Kind of skirmishing.
Yeah, skirmishing, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing. Kind of like Scout, but definitely different. The assassin, again, I can't, and it might be my narrow-mindedness, it might be me, like, simplifying it too much, but the assassin to me really does feel like a single-player-oriented character. Just due to the abilities and the way they're listed here in the book, and just due to playstyle, I feel like, I don't know, you could make the argument that having a group of assassins is a thing, and having people that are not necessarily assassins working with the assassin to do something would work, but at the end of the day, I feel like the assassin is going to go off on their own and do their own thing, you know, because they need to do this. They need to use their infiltration expertise that they have to take 7 days to create all these identities in order to track this one guy and then find the perfect way to take him out, right?
I should imagine no one would mention, like, oh, well, assassins can all work together, simply because, like, yeah, of course you can always have campaigns that it's all one class.
Absolutely. I'm trying to see these skills working in a group setting, and these skills don't feel that way mechanically to work as well in a group setting. Narratively, you could alter them slightly, right? You can make it kind of work. Like everybody else is helping you create your false identities somehow or something, but it just, I don't know. It's so strange to me. Just looking over this class, because I didn't read Assassin. I'll be honest. I never have played an Assassin ever, so I didn't care to. When I first started playing the game, and ever since then, I kind of skip over page 97, which is both Thief and Assassin, and then go straight to Arcane Trickster, because that's way cooler. And then anything in Xanathar's is way the fuck cooler than Thief and Assassin. So anyway, so potentially it's my bias there. The only time I had a campaign with an assassin in it, there was also a barbarian that didn't believe in stealth or tactics. Zero group synergy. Yeah, that's the thing. You also need to have a group that is oriented to working with this assassin. Like, you need it to happen, really.
Yeah.
I guess...
Like them tricksy blood axes do the whole thinking thing.
Sometimes it's good to retreat. But it ain't orky.
Nah.
It ain't orky.
It ain't orky.
But
neither rootin' nor tootin'.
That's true. If you want assassins with group-oriented skills, they can have a 3rd or 9th level some distraction or decoy ability you put on an ally to get sneak attack, but at the ally's risk. You could, absolutely. Well, so I think if we want to have the assassin kind of become more team oriented, we need to have things that we need. I'm sorry, but I think Mastermind is the better assassin. I really do. If you look at, again, in Xanathar's page 46, the best part of Mastermind is Master of Tactics. Starting at 3rd level, you can use the help action as a bonus action. Additionally, when you use the help action to aid an ally in attacking a creature, the target of the attack can be within 30 feet of you rather than within 5 feet of you if the target can see or hear you. That's already something that allows you to be more team-oriented. Now, it's not necessarily an assassin-only thing, but that plus anything from Scout, really, like anything from Inquisitive, these are all these assassin kind of things that are all spread out amongst 3 different other classes, right? Other subclasses. And I feel like Assassin is so weirdly specific to one guy that it just doesn't work as a group thing. Now, mind you, we could take some inspiration from Assassin's Creed, Brotherhood, if you will, where you recruit many different people to become assassins, and they're all different walks of life, and they all kind of do things in different ways. Some are bigger guys that are heavier, and they use big weapon, you know, and they're still part of the Assassin's Guild. An assassin doesn't necessarily have to be
sneaky.
Exactly. So
an assassin doesn't have to assassinate.
Exactly, right? An assassin can just be the big guy who goes in, the thug, if you will, can be a part of the Assassin's Guild. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but this is so specifically sneaky assassin man. You are this, right? And whilst I would argue that assassin is a title that anyone can take, right? Anyone can become an assassin.
Yeah, there's no one trying to gatekeep being an assassin,
right?
Who's not 13,
right? Anyway, potential alternate. What if you also got your assassinate against targets that are restrained or asleep as well as surprised? Yes. Yes. That way it's not just the one time. That way you're not just a rogue most of the time. Absolutely. I would say that would be a great addition, actually.
Sorry, we'll say that again, what?
So, you get your assassinate against, additionally, from the surprise, you also get it to the restrained or asleep conditioned people.
I would say that someone who's asleep would be counted as surprised.
So, yes. So that's
actually,
the thing.
If they're asleep, it should be considered that they're incapacitated.
I agree, but the problem is conditions are what we're going with, because surprised is a condition that you have to have in order for this to work. Rules is written, right? I would totally go for that in my games. If somebody wants to be an assassin and they go against somebody that is restrained, they have no way to stop you from doing your assassinate skill, right? Like, they are unable to block you efficiently enough for you to not do your critical hit. Whilst asleep is the same exact way, and while I would absolutely, in my brain, say, yeah, they're surprised, just making it mechanically make sense, right?
Not only are they surprised, but that you would also probably auto-crit.
Yes.
Just because coup de grace.
Which doesn't exist in 5e.
Which doesn't exist in 5e, which is a whole other bucket of worms.
Woo! I feel like using an assassin would take a special type of campaign geared around it, but I can see ways to do it and make it a group effort. Absolutely, yeah. Allows for team planning and combos. With the alternate, yes. Also, I just caught the going to work COVID variant, so see you later, see you Lux. I'll probably end up a few minutes behind in the video because of frequent pausing. Fair enough. It's plausible, but I think team-based assassin abilities are high risk, high reward, especially toward using allies, decoys, and pawns, which some players may not like. as they aggro crowds or targets. Could be. Yeah, I think, again, we need something instead of these other two abilities, the 9th level and the 13th level. I think maybe having something like that where you can make decoys, or you can, like, faint freely or something, you know. Well, fainting is a thing that swashbucklers can do, so never mind, I think, right? Fuck. I have to... Swashbucklers, I think, are they in Xanathars, or am I fucking crazy? Where are swashbucklers, friends, out there in the chat? Please tell me, because my brain hurt. Anyway. I just made bacon. That's nice, Halo. I'm happy for you. Bacon good. He's a pig assassin. Well, you know. They didn't kill it. They just made it into bacon. It's delicious now.
Assassins.
I think someone asleep is considered helpless, so you can just coup de grace them. Shit. Yeah. No, it doesn't exist. Sorry. Oh, Boo will be here in 10 minutes. Cool. All right. Cool. So, let's continue on. Oh, yeah, I have to house rule coup de grace back in because 5e not having it is dumb. I agree. Coup de grace is great. Makes a lot of sense.
Another bonus to feed into the poisoning part of the rogue assassin, which is kind of inspired by the bonus action poisoning that Tasha's Cauldron of Everything feat Poisoner lets you do. So now the Assassinate ability gives you the ability.
How does slicing someone like 50 times and putting poison on the blade each time sound like an assassin? An assassin hits once, and then fucking.
I mean, traditionally, yes, I agree. That's the whole point of the assassin, is to make the job done as soon as possible, right? Like as quickly and efficiently as possible. But again, with this, it's like you're a poisoner. You work with poisons. That's what you do. Not necessarily being an assassin. You're just a man who knows how to poison things well. But also, so if you're inspired by Tasha's, then you know, or at least that poisoner feat, then you know that it exists. Then you know that this, unfortunately, makes that feat more useless / your thing more useless. Like, you've taken the feats kind of thing and you've given it now to this class, which makes it so that feat, I'm pretty sure it's a lot less effective now.
Why doesn't he simply say, I think that this subclass needs the poisoner feat from Tasha's?
Yeah, just do that. Because then you don't
have done so here. That seems a bit more intellectually honest.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just, he's taken the thing from the feat and he's put it on this, and it's like, oh, this is better now. It's like, well, you can just take the feat, friend. Unless feats aren't allowed in the game that you're playing, in which case I'd go, okay, unfortunate. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's your DM.
Because also, I hate to tell you this again, but 5e is not interested in feats. They're a side thought. They're an optional rule for a reason. Like, there's a big section of them, but they are not balanced for it. Same thing as magic items, friend.
Assassin to poison weapons and ammunition as a bonus action instead of an action. This will make it so that if you do succeed in your Assassinate ability in getting a critical hit on a surprised creature in the first round of combat and you just feel really good about it, you can actually add a little bit more damage to that with poisons. I think the Assassin was supposed to be this way to begin with, but now I'm really developing that with this version of the Assassin.
So, but why? But why do you think that? Wait. Well, so I guess you could argue it because of the Poisoner's Kit that it got as bonus proficiency already? But I would also argue, is that not to, I don't know, poison people from afar, quote unquote, you know, like in the sense of you make a thing, you put it in their drink, they drink it, and then they die? Like that's the reason? Have you seen Hitman? Have you seen those games? You take the rat poison, you put it in the thing, and then because of that, they go throw up in the toilet, and then you drown them in the toilet. That's what you do. IRL, the way to assassinate someone would be to get close to them, hold your dagger in an ice pick grip, and then suddenly bum rush them and go wild. If you try to fight them skillfully, you'll lose your advantage of surprise. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Assassins don't play fair. It's the whole thing.
There is an old quote, and it's the only fair fight is the one you lose.
That's true. In case you ever need to assassinate someone, you're welcome. Thanks, Lux. You've gotten us completely taken out by the FBI now. We're fucked.
Yeah, you've ruined our cover. Years of academy training wasted.
Yeah. I would argue that the sleeping character had the unconscious condition. Page 292, I had to look it up. When you attack an unconscious creature, you get advantage and auto crit. Well, there you go. So that already works for Assassinate. So that's just, it's unnecessary to say it. I understand then. You're right. I just want to look at page 292 and look at it myself because I like to confirm things. Thank you so much for the page numbers. They're always helpful. Yeah, any attacking, because with any unconscious creature is well, so, but sleep has a condition, doesn't it? Or am I crazy? Oh my god, I'm crazy. Never mind. It is just unconscious. Never mind. Okay, you're right. Thank you. My brain is mush. Anyway, continuing.
It is good to know that even though I did not know that the sleep condition was an actual, the unconscious condition was an actual condition.
Yeah.
That I'm like, you would auto crit and have advantage. And
yeah, because
sounds like you auto crit and have advantage.
Yeah, I thought that was just how it was in the for the sleep condition, quote unquote, but it was also the unconscious it was the unconscious condition, so fuck me, whatever, it's fine. I figured you appreciate the page number. I do, thank you. My motives are inscrutable. Well, Lux, you've destroyed us yet again.
The next problem that I'm addressing is how the level 9 and level 13 abilities of the assassin could pretty much be accomplished through role-playing, and you didn't really gain much from those abilities to like create your own identities and have advantage to pass yourself off as other people. Wasn't jiving with me. So I actually moved the level 13 ability and smushed it into the level 9 ability and made it a little bit more clear what value you can get out of it. So it's still called Infiltration Expertise, but I'll just say that I reworked it. It's pretty much brand new, so I'm just going to read what it does now. Starting at 9th level, you gain proficiency with forgery kits, and you roll deception charisma skill checks with advantage to impersonate or adopt fictional personas. Sounds pretty similar so far. You may add your intelligence modifier to deception skill checks rolled to impersonate someone if you observe the person's speech, handwriting, mannerisms, or other notable traits for 10 minutes.
Wow.
This was a cool idea I got from a fan reader who thought this was a great assassin concept and they wanted to see intelligence be fed into it a little bit more. So now you have the option to be extra deceptive if you are intelligent and you've been watching someone for a while.
So while I like the idea, I have to again give you, I guess this is literally just to give that intelligence boost, right? Like that's why you would do that for 10 minutes.
This helps intelligence be more relevant though.
Yeah. No, I'm good with it. So, well, I guess my problem is you as this character potentially could take your rogue's bonus, expertise into deception. Let's say you have a 18 charisma just starting off. You get up to, 9th level, so you might actually have 20 at this point. Hello, Boo. How are you?
He's alive.
Hello.
I'm alive.
He is alive.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it. So you take your expertise at 1st level, which gives you double your proficiency. So at 9th level, you would have +8 already. And then, I guess you have your +5, let's say, if you're at 20th, 20 in your charisma. And then on top of that, you get your intelligence modifier, which is just another plus, at minimum, I would say 3. So you're getting...
maybe.
So you're getting... sorry, at minimum 2, but I would think around 3, honestly. So at minimum, you're getting a plus 15 to this deception check, which I think ultimately is unnecessary.
Yeah, is this in 5e?
Yes, this is 5e.
Yeah, that's a little much in 5e.
And so now I understand that this is because you have you are impersonating this person and you want it to succeed. But I also think that if you are at this point where you are doing all of these things that are more roleplay focused, you've created these identities, or you've learned this person's patterns and everything so much, because that's what the imposter feat was before, that he's now combined into this. If you've learned all these people's patterns so much, I would think that unless you fuck up so hard, you're probably going to be fine. Yeah, you're probably going to be fine. Well, even with a 1, you'd still get, without the additional plus anything, you could potentially have a plus 10. Sorry.
Well, the thing is, a 1 is usually always considered an instant fail. Usually.
I understand that, but it's always been kind of iffy with me for skills.
Oh, okay.
Because skills are like, just because I got a 1 on this, I still have this plus, 20 fucking 4. So why should it auto fail? That doesn't make any sense. I'm skilled enough to know how to do this, right?
That's kind of what it's like with why I don't think that's been as rolling a 1 is like as important with Boris, for instance, because like Boris has a plus 20 onto his hide.
Right. Yeah. And like I understand that people like doing that with things, and I don't fault them for it. That's totally fine. And like I like having some times where you have like something out of the blue happen that's kind of funny or kind of crazy, right? And it adds to the thematic tension, sure. But I also am like, I'm more on the side of the actual rules that say you don't get an auto fail on a 1 in a skill check.
Oh, is that actually in the rules?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
It's always been, I think.
Not wanting on skill checks has always just been a very common homebrew.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Magu says, hi, Boo.
Hello.
I would rather go without this feature. 5e is not a good system to implement this feature, and the way Mastermind has a feature that works similar but aligns with the system better. Yeah, that was my other thing. So Mastermind, like I said before, Mastermind has that if you spend a minute, you can become basically a local in whatever area. You copy the mannerisms, the accent. You can pass yourself off as a local after a minute of observing the language, as long as you know the language, which is the barrier to entry, really. And that's it. Which is good to me, because it's like, oh, you know the language, and you can you're intelligent enough to understand that if you act like these people, they probably are more likely to give you what you want. That's crazy, right? It gives you more options here with this rogue kind of thing, because not just I would probably play a mastermind with more intelligence than I would dexterity, because it just fits more with like the way that it works, I think. But and I think there's other things that you can get here that, no, it's just the insightful manipulator, really. But so never mind about that thought. Yeah, this one says, you unerringly mimic the speech patterns and accent of a creature that you can hear speak for at least 1 minute, enabling you to pass yourself off as a native speaker of a particular land, provided that you know the language. Plus, it gives you the Disguise Kit, Forgery Kit, and a gaming set of your choice, as well as 2 languages of your choice. So, like, it really sets you up to be able to do this, which is really nice. And then having something like this where it's that plus maybe 2 to 4 for a deception skill to impersonate someone when you've probably done all of these steps to completely take over their lives. I would assume. I feel like you've done the legwork, and I feel like I would reward you with people not... Like, the only time where I would make you roll this shit is if you were trying to fuck over their closest friend, right?
Yeah, like, or like an associate that, like, they know really well.
Exactly. Like, somebody who's a very, very close confidant in any way. That's the only time where I'd go, yeah, let's fucking see if you've done this, right? In which case... I don't know if you need this intelligence modifier as well, because I feel like you've created this character to become this person, right? Like, and you've taken the deception and all that stuff.
Well, there's, like, someone who is the opposite sex of your character walks in and does, like, a secret knock and, like, says the code word. And then 5 minutes later, your character does the same thing and tries to mimic that person. It's like, I saw this person 5 minutes ago.
Right.
How did they get outside?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, this is my thing about it, because it feels weird. And then he's gonna read it off in a second here, but poison at night can be as deadly as an army at noon. You roll sleight of hand checks with advantage to avoid detection when poisoning food or drink.
I'm actually holistically okay with this level up.
Yeah, that's fine with me with the sleight of hand thing, because again, it plays into the whole you have a poisoner's kit. Why wouldn't you poison people with it, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not just fine with the latter part. I'm actually fine with the whole thing.
I know, and I've given my contentions.
Playing into that keen mind, just watching someone picking up their mannerisms so that then you can become them later. And then I added one little thing that's completely new to this ability, which is you roll sleight of hand checks with advantage to avoid detection when poisoning food or drink. If you have impersonated a noble and you don't just want to stab them in the middle of the gala,
I will actually add a slight contention. I've been holding off on the poison at night can be as deadly as an army at noon thing. While, like, sort of a D20, like, rolls in my head, and it's... Or no, I flipped a coin, and it landed on its edge, and it's just been spinning. And I want to say that that's cringe as hell and feels like a 13-year-old wrote it.
Oh, just the flavor text? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
I didn't really... I just kind of blocked it. I thought it was... Well, it's whatever.
You're in, you can have advantage to slip some poison into their food on that sleight of hand check. And so you can be that subtle assassin that no one even knows you're there, instead of
you're the
Again,
chef.
you could always do this, but it's just making you better at doing it and increasing your chances.
You're the
of
gourmand.
I was thinking Skyrim. I actually was.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, you were.
What's the House of Assassins in 40K that does shapeshifting? All women.
Shapeshifting. Oh. The Assassinorum is the actual, like, thing.
But you've got Culexis, you've got Eversur, you have Vindicare, and then you've got one more.
Assassin.
Yeah, there you go.
Is 40K. Oh, it was the first thing that popped up when I put Assassin Houses. Officio Assassinorum. Let's see. Bop. So Calidus, Alexis. Yeah, Vindicar, Eversor, and there are others apparently too. Yeah. Anyway.
So you can still impersonate people, make fake personas, and infiltrate.
Oh, there you go.
Nightfire
says it's the Calidus Temple. There you go.
With those personas and your ability to mimic. But you can also poison food and drink with advantage on your sleight of hand checks. So just better chances to succeed against watchful eyes and thorough chefs. So since I moved that level 13 and smushed it into level 9, we now have a vacuum for a new ability at level 13, which I call Just Business. This is the ability that made one of my readers really mad, and I tried to get a dialogue going, but they never responded, unfortunately. But they thought this was broken. but I ran the numbers and I think it's fine. I could be convinced that one of the 2 bonuses could be left out and it would still be good. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But here's what it is. At level 13, Just Business makes it so your sneak attack dice are no longer D6s, they are D8s. And when you roll sneak attack dice, any 1s or 2s you roll count as 3s.
Okay, I have a few thoughts. The first, I am not a huge fan of the name. Like, I'm fine with it. I don't think that it should be used for an ability like this.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing just businessy about this ability.
Yeah.
Secondly, I actually fully support the sneak attack dice becoming D8s instead of D6s. I imagine a rogue as just kind of an edgy paladin, who sneaks around and their smite is a sneak attack. So I am totally fine with D8s instead of D6s. Especially at 13th level, man.
76s, huh? Or D8s, huh?
Yep. But treating 1s and 2s rolled as if they're 3s.
Yeah, I'm definitely not about that.
Huge issue.
Yeah, definitely not about that.
You're rolling 7d8.
Yeah.
You don't need to treat 1s and 2s as if they are 3s.
Yeah. I think without that bit, I'm more okay with the D8s, honestly. I guess I was just hung up on that because it's just like fucking at least 3. Holy fuck.
Yeah, no, way too much.
Yeah, I would even be more okay with treat 1s as if they are 2s, but even that would be a bit of a fucking stretch.
Yeah, I don't think it needs any changes in that. If we're going to just go up a whole die, just add a whole additional value of damage here, then it's like I don't think we need that. Otherwise, I guess it does make them better because they would know more of like where you strike in order to kill a man, right? Like that makes sense thematically, I guess. Yeah, I'm just my contention here because now you've put it as if it's a paladin, like an edgy paladin. I'm like, but paladins even have the spells per day that they have to expend, whilst the rogue can get advantage any moment.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's super easy to do.
Yeah, but it's more easy to spend a spell slot than it is to get sneak attacks.
No.
Yeah.
No. You get a bonus hide. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's true.
You get bonus to hide for fucking what's it called? Fucking cunning action at 2nd level. Bonus action to hide every chance you get. Every single attack, as long as you do a successful hide, can be your sneak attack. Every single one. It's fucked.
Yeah, Jesus. Was that something else new that he added?
No. That's just a thing that you can do as a rogue. And so that's why I'm like, yeah, it's fine that you can get sneak attacks at D6s, but adding them up to D8s when you can just do it all the fucking time, you know?
Yeah.
To be fair though, with you can't just like say you're fighting your enemy out in the middle of a grassland, like a grassy plain. You can't just hide.
I agree.
Hide in plain sight.
I agree. Hide in plain sight is not a thing anymore. You're right.
Which yes, and it's not a thing anymore, and because hiding is a lot more conditional and up to DM discretion, I would say that it is not as sure of a thing. And as such, like, if I choose to burn a spell slot, I always know I can smite.
Sure.
Which is a nice, very cut and dry, straightforward thing, which is more fitting of a paladin. But something like this, where it becomes D8s and it's more of a dodgy, chancy, maybe I can hide underneath the table and then do this. like it requires more cunning thinking on your feet.
Yes, I agree.
And as such would be more fitting of what is essentially a criminal paladin.
I agree, but I would also then say that wouldn't you be taking every chance that you can get to put yourself in the situation where you will always have this opportunity? Your grassy fields can happen every now and again, but the day isn't over after that grassy field. Every single moment of every single day, you can do this. As long as you have a place to hide. Whereas, as a paladin, you have to take a long rest to even get your spells back. You don't get a short rest. You don't have to expend anything as a rogue. Anything other than your 6 seconds in that one combat round.
Yeah. I guess it also comes down to how generously you would consider a rogue as hidden.
That's
as
the thing.
DM.
Well,
Yeah.
so I'll go from raw at least for this bit here. The way that you beat a hide check in the middle of combat, if you don't do an active perception, is you beat their passive perception, right? And most of the time, the passive perception is 10.
It's like 11. Yeah.
It's bad. So again, it is so hard to fuck that up unless the character that you're fighting is a character, right? Who's actually got a perception bonus to their, to add on to that.
Or like a wolf, which has advantage on perception checks that rely on smell.
Exactly, right? And so I think it's too much. I really do. I'm just running it through my head a lot, and I'm just seeing this rogue fucking going in, doing paladin smites every moment of every day. And I'm like, that rogue is unstoppable. That rogue cannot be beat, my man. If he plays it smart, he's gonna live forever on top of those corpses. That's crazy.
After a while, you start hiding among the corpses.
Exactly. I'm gonna hide behind my wall of dead bards. This is off topic, but I found the Tales of the Abyss review. The guy spends like 2 minutes complaining about Luke in a 3-minute video with an intro that's around 12 seconds. Just wanted to give some closure on that. Well, there you go.
Idiot.
There you go.
Huh.
I can understand not liking Luke, but holy shit. Come on.
A choice that's a bit questionable.
I wanted to do this because I liked how the Phantom Rogue plays with what sneak attack damage can do. It can be used for different things to attack like an enemy nearby.
Well, now I have to look up what the fucking Phantom Rogue is. What are we talking about? Is that Tasha's as well?
No.
Phantom Rogue 5e. Let's see. It is... where are you? Tasha's. Alright. Sorry, why is he referencing this? Sorry, I gotta go back for a sec.
Roll sneak attack dice. Any 1s or 2s you roll count as 3s. I wanted to do this because I liked how the Phantom Rogue plays with what sneak attack damage can do. It can be used for different things to attack like an enemy nearby. I wanted to enhance the sneak attack, or at least make it unique to the assassin. At level 13, this raises the damage range available to you for sneak attack from potentially rolling 7 to 42 to instead rolling 21 to 56. So your maximum damage with sneak attack doesn't increase all that much. It's just by 14, which when have you ever rolled max damage with sneak attack? I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, but have you also considered crit possibilities here too? And just like, it's so much damage regardless. Like, I understand that sneak attack is what you need for the rogue to be more of a mainstay there, but that's that's already there with the D6s.
I would like to propose a change. I haven't even thought that heavily about it yet, but like, what if instead rogues attacks, sneak attacks at 13th level or above counted as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistances? Like, give them what you give a 3rd level monk.
Why? I guess. I just think at that point, if your DM hasn't given you a magical weapon to overcome that, then your DM's just kind of being weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think that's necessary because with the monks it makes sense because they don't need weapons. They use their fists, right? But with the sneak attacks, with the rogues, they are just sneak attacks now.
And you should already have a magical weapon by like level 3.
Yeah. I personally don't care for the 1s and 2s addition for sneak attack, but if you want to add to sneak attack, add a chance to inflict a condition or prevent AoE with a saving throw. Attack of opportunity. Sure. Well, so this is the thing with the attack of opportunity one. Scouts already can do that, so we can't do that because then we're taking away from scouts. But with an additional condition like cripple or something, right? Like I don't know if cripple is even a thing in 5e, but something like that where you can hamper them quite a bit. Yeah, I would like that. That'd be fine with me. Make it so the assassin is the only class that can do that, and then the assassin has something unique. Not just it do bigger number, though.
To be fair, though,
okay,
having bigger number can make a class like you can look at that bigger number and go, "Ooh, but I would like to deal bigger number too."
I understand that. Bigger number, better person. I know. I understand. But
bigger number equals cooler character.
That's right. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just
bigger number equals satisfaction with life path.
And then your minimum damage is what's really cool. So as an assassin and a sneak attack expert, you don't want to roll a bunch of 1s and get really low rolls on your big assassinate or even just any sneak attack damage in combat. Raising that minimum damage, I think, is what makes this really cool and flavorful to be an assassin.
Really?
Average damage still remains.
Sorry, what's the flavor here? You do damage consistently. Yeah. Oh, okay.
You stab a man.
Again, if we want flavor, like I said, put a fucking condition with like crippling them. Like, damage ranges, right? If you do between this and this, like this is how much damage. Like with the sneak attack die themselves, between this and this, you can inflict like half speed on them, and then this and this, you can potentially
Yeah, make your sneak attack apply like conditions.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll look at the conditions here. We have one that I immediately saw was stunned, which absolutely, if you get like pretty high, we'll say whatever the between this and this condition would be, whatever the highest range can be at your current thing.
Make it actually
paralyzed.
Make it a spell save DC or they're paralyzed.
Yeah.
And which spell save DC scales off of like intelligence. To give intelligence yet another reason for the rogue, and they should have already had intelligence be their secondary stat.
Yeah, we can make it so that the assassin is an intelligence dex instead of just pure dex, like every other fucking rogue. Like if we really want to make these things unique, we want to make it so that it breaks out of the mold. Yeah. And if it's just gonna keep being the same thing, big number, then like we're not doing anything to this. We're just making the big number happen.
Yeah, we're just making the damage more.
Yeah.
Not enough attacks in this game, which is weird to say, have any sort of secondary effect.
Yeah. Like remember when you could bleed out sometimes?
No.
Yeah, I know. It's not a thing. Like poisoning doesn't do a damage over time, it just does a flat damage.
It's just a type of damage.
Right, exactly. Like and burning isn't the only time I see burning happen that's progresses past another round is when people homebrew that in. Like I don't think burning is a thing. It's
stupid.
Yeah. bigger number get me unga bunga. Big unga bunga. That's right.
Yes.
Bigger number.
No, big
equals...
number big number equals a long PP.
That's right. That's right. Bigger number equals crippling hit point debt. Yes. You ever get that itch in your arm where you have an IV put in too long? I got that, and it's driving me crazy. That sucks, August. I'm sorry.
Sucks.
Yes, well, the comment is on the last week's video, but August was in a accident and had their leg
I know the
fucked up.
life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So sorry, man.
I hope you feel better, man.
And hey, you didn't get any brain damage.
That's right.
You would know about that, right, Aiden?
Yep.
He does.
Yup.
He does know.
He does know. That's true.
I also know.
I don't even know how he remembers.
I also died.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. He also died.
Died for a couple minutes. Still an atheist.
Yeah.
Just gotta add that.
Did you see anything, or was it just black?
I remember kicking my mother.
Okay.
That's about all I remember.
You would think he would have kicked his dad.
No, it was my mother actually. They limited visitors that could be in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because COVID.
Yeah.
Ah.
Makes sense.
I mean, you were dead. What does it matter?
Yeah, right. Really, the only person that should have visited me was the Undertakers.
That's right.
Yes.
There they are.
The Undertaker?
No, all of them. Every single one.
Oh, it's a wrestling joke. Anyway, go on.
That's also true.
Oh.
I forgot about him, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll survive with my new cyborg pelvis and vampire blood. There you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Damn it.
I believe in you.
Now I'm jealous.
Not so high, even if the range is 21 to 56. It's still weighted towards the bottom because you can still roll 1s, 2s, and 3s, and that still is like giving you the minimum range of 21. And so it doesn't mean the average damage is suddenly like 40 for your sneak attack damage. I think it's still closer to like 30 or something like that. It still keeps your average damage.
We also have to then remember that you get your auto crits on surprises as well as the what is it? He didn't add anything else, but you get double damage, or sorry, advantage against not taking creatures that haven't taken their turns. Like, we have a lot of things balanced in the favor of the guy already doing a shit ton of damage.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's
aside from like, who was the Mary Sue character type or class? Huh?
Ray.
No. God damn it. I mean, yes, but who is the Mary Sue class in D&D? Because I feel like Rogue is one of the top contenders for that. Usually, anyway.
I would actually say it is fairly equal. The only ones accepted are Monk and Druid. Oh, and Ranger. Ranger is
Fair
not
enough.
a Mary Sue.
Ranger.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh,
yeah, because it's like, I feel like rogues are strong enough and versatile enough as they are.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say.
Why do they need a buff? They don't.
We're already at the ability to fucking dodge everything, and like,
yeah.
If we're at 13th level, we can. Let's see. Yeah. We're already at the point where you can, whenever you make an ability check that lets you add your proficiency bonus, you can treat a D20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10. Like, we're already at that point.
Why?
Like, we're good, man. We're good.
Yeah, rogues are not the ones who need this.
Well, so I think the assassin subclass needs differences, but needs updates, but it doesn't need this. I don't think.
So now let me ask.
Yeah.
I take it you're looking at the assassin subclass right now.
Yes.
And I saw that before he was doing shit with the poison. I like that.
Sure.
Because I assume assassin does not have that. Rules as written.
It just has you have the poisoner's kit as a proficiency.
Does it do anything with daggers?
Nope. Not specifically. Because you could use something that isn't like you could use a short sword or whatever. Remember?
Well, what I mean
as
is
a
like
rogue-
assassins typically in like most medieval times used daggers because they're much easier to conceal.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I get you.
And they leave really deep wounds that are nigh impossible to stop bleeding when, again, in that time. If there was magic, it's not really an issue.
Right.
So I think that assassins should have some sort of bonus to daggers.
So that I would feel that pigeonholes them way too much because they're already a rogue which has them only being able to use simple weapons and then hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, short swords. That's all the things that they can use as proficiencies. And then just the dagger, like pumping up the dagger more so would mean that that's all you're using, right? You're not.
Well, I mean, you went down the assassin line.
I get that. I get that, but I think that you should be able to, and this is why I was talking about this before. When you weren't here, we were talking about how anyone can become an assassin. It doesn't take just a rogue. Like, it shouldn't be something that is just specifically a rogue.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a title overall, and so there are many different ways to assassinate a person. And so with this kind of thing, again, I think maybe give us make this a ninja and make it like, have its own things. And because I can only see like maybe a bonus proficiency, like you get an expertise, quote unquote, with daggers. But at that point it's like, oh man, that really makes it so that you only want to use a dagger. And again, a dagger is a D4, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It is, yes.
So I guess maybe just bump up the die to a
that's
D6.
what I was gonna say. Is just bump up dagger damage and maybe something else, like something unique to it.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know if we need to do something with the weapon. I really don't.
Yeah, I just don't want to pigeonhole players and like limit creativity.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be if you want to be an assassin who hides in suits of armor, like holding a halberd, and then just like one day steps forward and slices off someone's head with a polearm, more power fucking to you.
In the suit of armor, has the halberd, drops it, pulls out a tiny knife, and goes for you.
Yeah.
No, but I like what August is saying here. Boo's got a good idea. Give assassins a feature with bonuses using light weapons, not just daggers and short bows.
Fair enough.
So you could make it so that it's overall something where they get either that or just give them more weapon proficiencies. Like, make it so that they can use simple weapons and martial weapons. Like, make it so that they're more versatile in that way because they can use whatever they need in that moment,
They're already obsessed with the idea of
kill a man.
Of rogues being skill monkeys. So
oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
I'm alright with them having martial.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be kind of interesting if like you went assassin and you lost some of the other proficiencies other than the ones that are like for infiltration and interpersonal shit, and you gained proficient and you like gained martial weapons.
In what way
what I mean?
do you mean? Like, what would you lose, I guess?
I'm not really sure, but it would be the thing you would. So I imagine an assassin probably doesn't have much use for, say, and that we're talking like rogue assassins here, obviously. So let me see. I just need to pull up a 5e sheet because I don't know if I even have one available. I don't have a 5e sheet available to me. Oh, I know there it is. Let me see. I imagine most assassins probably don't really need animal handling or arcana.
They're already not on the list.
Huh?
They're already not on the list that you can choose for skills.
Okay.
They have acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, performance, persuasion, sleight of hand, and stealth. They're already good with skills.
Okay, yeah, they're already good. Never
mind. They
mind.
get to choose 4 of them. Like, they're fine. Yeah. No, I got you. If they had that kind of thing, I'd be like, yeah, I don't see why they
had
would
a whole
need
bunch
that.
of other ones because I honestly it's been so long
That's
and
fair.
I've never really played rogues.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Treat 1s and 2s as 3s is essentially a d6 plus 2. So at 13th level, that's basically 7d6 plus 14. There you go. That's true, actually. You're right. Anyway.
Towards not being crazy, but it makes your minimum damage higher so that you're just more consistent. Now, I know this is the context of the assassin, so you're good at critting, and I gave you that feature earlier to poison weapons as a bonus action. So
Why not just make them crit easier?
Poison to your critical hit.
Yeah, well, that's why we were talking about with the restrained thing, right? Like, allowing them to do their their assassinate on a restrained target, which would allow them to do what is it? Double damage. Or sorry, no, advantage. Wait, that would be only advantage? Sorry. No. Okay, yeah. It's it's in addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised, you get a critical hit. And then we were saying before, if you have somebody who's restrained, why not let them also get a crit against them, and then you already have the unconscious thing, which is fine. Paralyzed as well also already has unconscious things happen, is the same as unconscious in that respect. And then with our idea of, you can even have this build up. Well, you could even have it build off when when you add those additional abilities to potentially paralyze somebody. Then you could also have it so that it plays into your ability that you had before, where if they're or just in general, really, just having them crit easier because they're potentially going to paralyze them and make it so that you can do critical hits against them. You're right. You're right. My brain has expanded.
Yeah, just make them like a 3.5 fighter.
Yeah.
I know you're pumping out a lot of damage, but that's what assassins are supposed to do. I could be convinced that maybe the sneak attack should remain D6s, or if they do become D8s, to not make 1s and 2s become 3s.
Oh, good.
I'd have to play test it, but for now, this is what it is. And I think it's okay to make a big choice with a subclass design, especially if we're revising something that just hasn't worked for a long time.
That is the one thing about this. He said that he's open to changing this stuff in the future, and I don't know if he has in the now. I don't know when this was found, but
this is a perfectly acceptable, like,
this is a third draft, I believe. So
this is a perfectly acceptable, like, hey, this is what I think. What does everyone else think? I do have tweaks and like minor contentions with it, of course. But like, I mean, that's just what happens when you homebrew a subclass.
Yeah, exactly.
I would expect the same to happen if I were to homebrew a subclass.
Yeah.
Seriously, let me know your thoughts. Does this shock you, or is it like, yes,
I am shocked.
I just want to see what he does for 17.
It's important to me to perfect my revision of the assassin so that it's as satisfying and cool as I first thought it was when I first started playing 5th edition. And one more thing, I also like that making your sneak attack damage do so much more damage makes it so you're not just going to be a rogue that multi-classes to something else maybe at higher levels. I like it when subclasses are good enough to invest 20 levels in your class, because I know a lot of people like to multi-class once you get to high level play. Okay, we still have one more feature, and that's Death Strike. I left it pretty much the same, but I added one more thing so it doesn't feel so bad if your target passes their saving throw. But I altered it so that it doesn't feel so bad and useless if you get a surprise attack on someone, and then you do Death Strike, and they pass their saving throw, so you just do your regular critical hit, which is...
Well, okay, so the only change here is that now even if they succeed or fail, they now go very last. Like, at the very end.
Oh, no.
So...
I'd potentially double that, personally.
So this is the thing. Even if the person, the entity, whatever it is you're fighting is going first, they're going first again.
Yeah.
Like if they're going dead last. It's for the remainder of the combat encounter. So they're they're still going quote unquote first. It's just at the end of the turn now. Quote, which I know doesn't make sense, like, when I say it out loud, but if you look at the turn order, at the very end, they've now assessed where everyone is, where everyone, like, what everyone has done, and now they can do whatever they want. Same as at the beginning of the turn, because the beginning of the turn, they get to choose what's happening right around them. That is, like, and I guess they don't get to account for... It actually gives them more of an advantage, I would argue, because now they don't have to worry about them moving and shit. Well, even... Sorry. My brain is now trying to contend with, no, they're moving before. No, they're moving after, right? Because it's the same thing. They're going to move after the fact. It's just that they're moving before this guy so that he can put things now there to hamper them the next turn, which is the same thing as if they were in the first turn.
I actually, I just thought of something with Deathstrike. Imagine, like, a group of 3 assassins all drop from the rafters.
Yeah.
And, like, attack a surprised target.
Sure.
They're all likely going to stab the target before the target has time to, like, move.
Likely.
So I would be alright with them, with him essentially, like, lowering initiative count. And... Like, I think my thought is that, yes, this is a good, like, a good idea, but I would increase the drop in DC by more than 1.
Whoa.
Because essentially...
What are you talking about?
If you have, like, 3 assassins who are all working together and, like, all drop down and all assassinate a target, you're going to want to have all 3 assassins do their attack before the target has a chance to move.
Yeah, no, so...
And that would be accomplished by reducing their initiative to essentially 0.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's already what's happening.
Yes, and I'm saying that its drop in initiative needs to go up.
Drop in initiative needs to go up.
So right now you you lowered their initiative count by 1, yes?
No, you lowered it to 1.
Oh, to 1.
Yes. Which, again, that's why I was saying, if they're going first, say they have a 25, now they're going essentially first.
Yeah, I would say lowering it by 1 or 2.
Yeah, so the way that this goes for me is just initiative has never really been something that mattered that much.
No, it really doesn't.
It really doesn't matter when you go. The only times when the only time when it matters is if you're dead. Right? In the sense of, like, you're dying on the floor, and somebody needs to come and get you before your death saving throws go. Potentially that is just me, but or us, I guess. But I don't think that this does anything for you.
It does so little that it honestly just doesn't feel like it would matter at all.
Right, and any kind of initiative change, again, I don't think does anything really. The only times where it benefits is when you delay to set up with somebody else, right?
Yes,
like
which is why it's more thematic, and you have, like, the 3 assassins dropping from the rafters and all 3 stab.
Which they're already going to be able to do. Which,
yeah.
So, like, there's no... Because they're already getting their surprises in, so they all get them in, because surprise makes it so they lose their turn, basically. That's what happens, right? And so... it just doesn't do anything. You don't have to give it anything. There's no rework here. You're just adding something that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I didn't go with this version of Assassin as I felt like it doubled down too much on the bad and negligible abilities. Fair enough. Maybe an easier solution, if not possibly OP, is that the target loses their next turn.
I feel that would be a bit OP.
Yeah, that'd be a little broken.
I'm not a fan of it because now I will say the one thing that it doesn't do that something like Paralyze does do is make it so that they can be critically hit, right? So them losing their turn just means they stand there and get wailed on for a while, but they can still, I assume, do attacks of opportunity and reactions, maybe, which could be...
Why not make them, unable to take attacks of opportunity or move?
Yeah, exactly. This is another case...
Essentially slowed.
Yes, this is another case of maybe just make it inflict an additional condition if you really want to buff it some. Whereas I think it does actually, now that we're kind of looking more at it, I think it does need something, because it just says when you attack a creature and hit a creature, that is surprised, specifically, it must make a Constitution saving throw, DC 8 plus your dexterity mod plus your proficiency bonus. On a failed save, double the damage of your attack against the creature. So it only doubles the damage, which against a surprised creature, you're already getting a critical hit, which is double your damage. So are we quad damaging now? Actually?
Maybe. I hope not.
If that's the case, then no. So I'm fine with it doing that, because it is literally the strongest thing that you can get as a rogue.
Okay.
Because it's 17th level, and the only other thing they get is Stroke of Luck at 20th level, which is you can reroll a fail ability check. And if you miss, you can actually hit. That's it.
Yeah, this is their offensive.
Yeah. So, like, this is the one thing where I'm like, yeah, okay, so they can do the big death strike, fucking murder them, maybe, or do a significant chunk. I'm fine with that. Though, we are already really hoping that they're surprised, right? Because that's the only way this works, which I'd go, maybe, this is, and I understand why it's only surprise, because you're only supposed to be able to do this one time in a combat. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But man.
Then there's going to be some DMs out there who give their rogue an item that allows them to surprise an enemy multiple times per combat.
I haven't done that yet.
No, yeah, I think it's fine the way it is. It's already doing so fucking much in combination with what it can do with Assassinate that I think that it doesn't need any changing, except for if we are wanting to be extremely generous, giving it an additional condition chance, right? That's about it. We're talking about Assassin. What are people saying is the problem? Infiltration, Expertise, and Imposter. And this guy also is adding in things to Assassinate and Deathstrike, though I don't think they're very good. But the 9th level and 13th level abilities are really the big things that people want to change, apparently. Which I agree with, just to make it feel more team or group oriented instead of very much single focused. Single player focused.
Still good, but you've been doing that since level 3. And so to make Deathstrike at least give you something, regardless of whether they pass that saving throw or not, I made it so you reduce their initiative to 1. So all of a sudden, you're an ambusher with your whole team. Now they can probably all move before.
Congratulations, you made them go functionally first.
Yeah. High level.
Also, oh no, you missed.
Yeah, right.
God forbid the person be able to fail.
Yeah.
I know it's your strongest ability, but come on.
It's already it's already hoping for the fact that they're surprised. Like that's already the condition that we need here for the failure. Like, the potential failure at least. Assassin's less than stellar abilities being fixed with revisions that themselves aren't as good fixes. Yes, that is what's happening. I would agree, mostly.
If they survived your death strike, it's still going to be last in initiative or close to it, unless someone had like some kind of horrible modifier to go below 0. This plays into how I think the assassin already should feed into a theme of initiative manipulation, because it focuses so much on surprising enemies. Now at level 3,
I guess the only other thing that this would do then is allow the assassin to always be able to do their double, their advantage against that that target, because assassinate, that's what it can do when you go against things that haven't taken their turn yet. So they always get their sneak attack always. So with combination with the always being d8s and always being 3s and ups for the damage,
Yeah.
you know, it's just a lot. I thought their third level ability was strong. Their third level ability, assassinate, it's okay.
you're getting that bonus to initiative, you're getting better with poisons, then you get your infiltration expertise, you can poison food with greater success. You increase your damage output with sneak attack at level 13, and then your death strike. If you don't get that double damage like you really want, you can at least reduce their initiative. And that's kind of the big picture with my revision of the assassin. I've said it a few times, but seriously, I want to hear your feedback. I want to perfect this. This is a passion project for me, a labor of love to make the assassin good. And I want people to share this around to be like, hey, Flutes made the assassin good, and it's something everyone should try. That's my dream. Help me live my dream, please. Sneak attack that subscribe button so you can get more content like this. I will be putting out a few more.
Boo.
What?
I love the Flutes made the assassin good, and then you just go.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. It's just, you know,
Yeah.
like it's functionally. I don't think it's as like I think it's.
My overall reaction is this ain't it, Chief.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think we're on the right track here, trying to
yes, we
fix
are
things,
definitely on the right track.
but I think we need a few more revisions. That's all.
Yeah, no, like literally, like we're getting there.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of doing a few more processes,
Unfortunately,
which even he talks about in his video.
Right. But my other thing is, of course, unfortunately, it's really easy to fix Assassin, I think, because of how its 9th level and 13th level are kind of not great. So replacing them with, you know, things that aren't shit, it makes it better. Like, categorically, I think. But overall, yeah, I don't think it's like where it should be.
Yeah.
Like, because I could even see people playing Thieves and being like, oh man, this is still fine. Because Thieves are still pretty fucking good. Like, being able to let's see. Use your bonus action to make a sleight of hand check to open and disarm traps, open locks, disarm traps, and use objects as well as your whatever you get from cunning action, dash, disengage, hide. You can climb faster, no longer extra movement, running, jump. Okay, that's okay. Supreme sneak though, that's pretty good.
Thief is pretty good.
Yeah, Thief is alright. Like, and this is the thing, we're talking about core classes here. Like, Arcane Trickster surpasses them easily, right? And all of the other subclasses, I would argue, surpass all of them. Well, Arcane Trickster is still up there with them, I think. But like, Assassin is the one that I go, man, why would I ever play this? You know, it just doesn't feel like something that I want to sink my time into, and I want something that I want to be able to play and actually enjoy, or have like a general anybody can play and enjoy. Because I think it's too specific.
Revisions for subclasses I think need help. that I know need help. So stay tuned for those and let me know your own revisions. You know, have you seen other homebrews that you think I should consider? Did someone already do this for me and I'm just rehashing it? Regardless, I am Flutes. My wife is Opal. We'll keep making content for you on YouTube, and especially on flutesloot.com.
I assume they both do videos on the channel.
Having a good time talking to players and DMs like yourselves to help everyone have a better game. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Until next time. Ta-ta.
Thanks. Cool. Well, that was Flute's Loot. There you go. It's not a bad video. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
It's just you just need some work.
He's on the right track, but yeah, it just needs some additional edits, which he talks about, and I have no problem with that video.
Yeah. Cool. So, hey, we're at midpoint, or at least, you know, the point where we're gonna talk about our shoutouts and shilling and shit. Because that is what we do here at this moment in time. I've just realized that I didn't get those links and stuff set up because I remembered everything else, but not these. So give me a moment while I pull up everything that I need here. And I'll also read what you guys have been saying in the chat. All right, got back from my test. It's 19 out of 20. Nice. And nothing wrong with Assassinate, but the other stuff in the class, aside from their capstone ability, is an issue. Yes. So I'm free! There you go. Nice. Let me make sure that this is... Yes, good. Let's see. Congratulations. Thieves are an underrated subclass. That is the most fun if you got the imagination for fast hands. Shills pay the bills. That's true. Mostly the dice bill. Haha. We're getting there. And hopefully I can file in 2 days to get the rest of the money that I need.
Nice.
To do it. So, yeah, we're getting there. Don't worry, everybody. It's coming. It's on its way. So, that being said, thank you to everybody who's been sticking around and hanging out with us tonight.
You're welcome.
We, especially you two, absolutely. I was expecting you guys to leave like hours ago.
Yeah.
But so
I would have were I not busy with Elden Ring.
that's right. You can't be bothered to switch tabs and get out of here.
Yeah, dude, like I'm busy.
That's right. So we have a Patreon. In case you didn't know, over at patreon.com/tabletalkdnd, link in the description. And if you want to help support us, you can support us through there. It's not an obligation, but I will say, if you go tier 2 or up, you can receive a free set of dice when they come out. That's right. Right there.
Not really free, but
Well, so it's no additional cost.
There we
I
go.
guess is the better way to put it. I'm sorry. If you want to sue me, please don't. Oh my god. Yeah, but you will no additional
But I want
cost.
to, though.
Oh well, you can if you want, I guess.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
see you in court, bitch.
I won't get anything out of it anyway.
That's fair. So you get one.
I will subpoena you under a false name. So that way I get you to go to court and you pay the opportunity cost of not getting money.
Great, amazing. I hate this. Anyway, so these are our patrons, and I will read them now. Thank you to Draco Kraken at tier 4, Mog0 at tier 4, thank you. Rick, aka Unit Rico, at tier 4, thank you as well. Slazer at tier 4, thank you. Steely at tier 4, thank you. Drake Cross at tier 3, thank you. Chris at tier 2, thank you so much. Frozen Spaghetti at tier 2, thank you as well. Kill Chrono at tier 2, Donka, and Lux, the Fiendish Fool, at tier 2. Grazie.
Oregano. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Oregano. So thank you to all of you. Thanks for thinking that our shit is good enough to support. Gonna skip the last 12 minutes to catch up. Well, there you go, Lux. Welcome back. Other than that, of course, you can purchase the logo over on TeePublic. You can get it on a shirt or a mug or a notebook or whatever else they got there. And a percentage of it goes towards the artist who helped supply the logo. So, please do so if you would like. And, last but not least, of course, we are partnered with Humble. Humble Bundle has a bunch of great bundles. In fact, I think at the moment they still have right now, if you are watching this live, they have that Pathfinder First Edition character options from Paizo bundle for 3 more days as of recording. There is also, if I remember right, let me look. I thought there was another bundle that might be interesting to those of you out there. Yes. There is a Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound RPG PDF set that is a bundle there that you can get as well. Link's in the description. If you use our link and go and buy either bundles or games or whatever the fuck you want on the store, you can, support us as well as Tabletop Alliance, who's also linked in the description. That's the charity that we promote as well. And, you do the thing. You can do the sliders and be like, oh, all of this goes to the devs, or all of this goes to charity, or some of it, a little tiny portion of it, goes to us. Because not all of it can go to us. Don't do that. Anyway.
Well, why not?
Well, because I would feel like shit. So yeah, those are ways to support. So thank you to all of you for taking the time and listening to the spiel as you do. So we're gonna move on. On daggers, the advantage they currently have is that they're relatively easy to conceal compared to other weapons. That's not as relevant in open combat, but if you're trying to slip in and assassinate someone, it's a significant advantage. That's right. That is what Boo said before. You did do that. So I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, oh, we've already gone for 2 hours. So I'm going to not do the other video that I had planned, which was going to be a 30-minute video because I didn't think this one would take so long. Really didn't. I always don't. So we're gonna see about finding a smaller video. Oh, that's ours. Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. There is. Oh, you know what? Here we go. Fixing the Arcana Domain Cleric subclass in D&D 5e. HD IWDT. Well, I don't know what that stands for.
What is that?
Okay, let's go. Let's get this. And we'll bring it in here. It's only also 11 and a half minutes, so this will take another 2 hours. Very good. But
what is that, fellow nerds? And welcome back to
we're not ready. Hold on. Oh my god, I haven't even introduced you yet. This is coming to us from Dapper Snapper Gaming. Oh, I love that.
Nice.
I love the fish too.
That's pretty choice.
I like
pretty choice.
Pretty good. The Arcana domain needs fixing? That's peculiar to me, says August. Yeah, I don't know. So we will see in a second. Why is this not showing? That's why. Haha. Okay. Is it for the next stream? The 20-minute video? No. We would never do a topic in 2 days in a row. Don't look at video 51 and 52, I think. The taking 20 stuff. No, it'll be in the future for when we do this topic again. Because I like to variety this. I like to cycle through. But if you guys really want to see us go through more of these kinds of things, then absolutely. You just got to be really loud about it. So that I see you. And then I go, oh, I see. and then then more things get done. If you scream about
Indeed.
stuff, more things get done. It's just a fact.
Yes.
I do not condone you screaming at people.
Yes.
So let's see about the Arcane Domain Cleric. Now, I don't remember the Arcane Domain Cleric, I'll be honest. But I'm going to try to find... Oh, wait! Is that in my favorite book? Hold on. Is that in Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide? No. No, it can't be.
Surely not.
Surely not.
Don't call me Shirley.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It is! Yes! When did this video come out? March 4th, 2022. It's probably not this one. It's probably whatever the reworked one is, if there is one. But man, I hope so. Oh, I'm so excited, because now I have on page 125 of my Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide that other people don't have, because it's gone forever and they've buried it. It's here, and I'm reading it. So, here we go. Let's begin.
What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to How Do I Want to
so
Do This? This is
fucking
our
good.
series where we take a look at all playable options available to players in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and then we rank them on a scale of 1 to 10, and then either fix them or build them together, depending on how they rank. Now, today, we are still on our first week of talking about cleric subclasses, and we are already having to fix one. So, today we are going to give a little bit of TLC to the Arcana domain. And so if you're ready to see just how strong this can be, go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. As you can see, most people who watch this channel are not subscribed, so please don't be one of those people. Help us to grow. We're trying to get to 1,000 by the end of this year, and I think that that's
You too? Wow. Neat.
Oh boy! He has such a better channel name than us.
He really does. Outside of the Arcana Domain spell list, I don't see an issue with class features. It is Sword Coast exclusive, so exclusive it never got a reprint. Oh, the domain's not the book. Oh, okay. I think I'll play a character named Shirley sometime, so people can call me Shirley. Well, there you go. Lex. Good job. Yeah. So I'll just say right now, I guess, just to let you guys know what the Arcane Cleric can do.
Yeah.
Because nobody fucking knows what this thing does. Nobody got this book.
I never play 5e, so I actually don't know.
Yeah. Nobody got this book either, so it's cool. So the Arcana Domain allows you to have these spells that you can always have available, which are Detect Magic, Magic Missile. Those are at first level, so pretty good standard spells, to be fair. And these don't count towards your spell list that you know, like that you can prepare. I believe.
Yeah.
So, well, you know all spells as a cleric anyway, but you know what I mean. They are always prepared. So at third level, you get Magic Weapon. Pretty good. Nistul's Magic Aura. Now, I think that's a specific one to this book. So I will go and find that right now in my lovely book here. Nistul's... That's not in here. What the fuck is Nistul? Where's my phone? Where's my app? Sorry everybody. I didn't think I would be seeing Nistul's Magic Aura. Let's go find out what that is. Nistul's Magic Aura. It's a 2nd level spell, though you get this at Cleric 3rd level. That's interesting. Or for 3rd level Cleric spells. So this is, you place an illusion on a creature or an object you touch, so that divination spells reveal false information about it. Oh. The target can be a willing creature or an object that isn't being carried or worn by another. When you cast a spell, choose one or both of the following effects. The effects last for the duration. If you cast this spell on the same creature or object every day for 30 days, placing the same effect on it each time, the illusion lasts until it's dispelled. Oh, that's neat. False Aura, which gives you, they can make a non-magical object appear magical, or change the way it appears to magical effects, like detect magical auras, that kind of stuff. Then Mask, You change the way the target appears to spells and magical effects that detect creatures' types, such as a paladin's divine sense, or the trigger of a symbol spell. Oh, so like turn undead. Neat. Or I guess, is that a symbol spell? Anyway, you choose a creature type, and other spells and magic effects treat the target as if they were a creature of that type, or of that alignment. Oh, so yeah, it would work for turn undead. That's neat. Okay. Then at 5th level, cleric spells, you get Dispel Magic and Magic Circle. 7th level is Arcane Eye and Leomund's Secret Chest. And 9th level spells, you get Planar Binding and Teleportation Circle. Neat. So at 1st level, you get Proficiency in Arcana, as well as 2 cantrips of your choice from the wizard spell list, and they count as your cleric cantrips. Your Channel Divinity allows you to abjure otherworldly creatures. So, celestials, elementals, fiends, or fae of your choice within 30 feet must make a wisdom save or be turned for a minute or until it takes damage. So it's turn undead for those kinds of creatures.
Celestials, fae, fiends, and undead?
No, yeah, well, so it's just celestials. One celestial, elemental, fae, or fiend. And then...
An elemental.
Yes, which is... You have to use your Channel Divinity Arcane Abjuration instead of your Channel Ability, or Channel Divinity Turn Undead. So you have to choose. Turn creature will try to run. At 5th level, you can, if they fail, you can banish them for a minute.
Damn.
Yep. Pretty good. Yeah, and depending on your level, you can banish. So at 5th level, it's half a CR or lower. 8th level is 1 or lower. 11th, 2 or lower, 14th, 3 or lower, 17th, 4th or lower, or CR or lower. So you can banish some small stuff. Spellbreaker at 6th level. When you restore your hit points to an ally with a spell of 1st level or higher, you can also end one spell of your choice on that creature. The level of the spell you end must be equal or lower to that level of the spell slot you use to cast a healing spell. So if somebody's charmed, you can end their charm if you cast the same level. Pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. So an additional to the heal, which is nice. Potent spellcasting. Starting at 8th level, you add your wisdom modifier to the damage you deal with any cantrip, any cleric cantrip. And then Arcane Mastery at 17th level, you choose 4 spells from the wizard spell list, 1 from each of the following levels, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. You add them to your list of domain spells. Like your other domain spells, they are always prepared and count as cleric spells for you. So you can just take some cool spells. And that's it. Cleric's
so why
simple.
Is that bad?
I don't know. I'm very interested.
That sounds pretty neat to me.
It sounds pretty cool. Arcane Domain slaps. Or Arcana Domain slaps. Played an Arcana Cleric and it deserves more love. It just has a bad spell list. Fair enough. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I guess let's see the arguments. Changes.
Very close to 700 right now, so please help us to do that. And of course, share the video with your friends and ring the bell so that you're notified whenever new videos are uploaded. So the Arcana Domain Cleric is a really cool concept, but in practice, it's pretty underwhelming. I described it as situational. If you haven't seen my ranking video, it will be up in the iCard right there for you. Definitely watch that before you watch this, because otherwise this video is not going to make a whole lot of sense. But the Arcana Domain is very situational in what it can do, and a lot of the features are just kind of limiting in what they can do. And so I wanted to really expand this and slightly tweak the lore behind the Arcana Domain Cleric, but honestly, I think it all fits really, really well here. So this is going to be a take on the Cleric that's kind of an anti-mage while also being a, spellcaster yourself. And it is that you are learning so much about spellcasting that you learn not only how to cast really cool spells yourself, but you also know how to shut down other people casting spells as well because of your intricate knowledge of the arcane. That's kind of the idea that I've gone with here, and I think this is really, really cool. This is basically the Wizard of Clerics, which I think is what this was kind of marketed as, seeing how you gain some wizard stuff. Well, I've doubled down on that and added some really, really cool features that I think you will really enjoy.
Okay, I was waiting for a point to pause because he just kept going. Okay, so I see no issue with having have this already just have like counterspell and such, right? Like, I don't see anything wrong with that also being a part of their spell list. I'm unsure what, like, situational is a word that is applied to many things, because many things can be situational, and I feel like that's fine. I feel like having your cleric that is already specifically in the Arcana domain be more so a arcane spell casting kind of cleric that can also heal and do these like banishing or at least turning of these creatures from another realm or whatever. Like, this is already specific to the point of like you know that you want to play this guy this way, and like if you don't come up to things that are necessarily going to be I guess something that you can deal with, that's probably because your DM hasn't gotten you to that point yet where you can shine. Either that or they won't do that, in which case I would go, well, that's weird. You know, like so I
well that is a specific choice.
Right, exactly. But the problem also that I find here with it being so specific, quote unquote, is that it's just a cleric already. Like, you still get the abilities of a cleric, so like you can heal people and shit. That's already pretty specific. I mean, I know paladins can do it, but clerics do it better.
Yeah.
So
much better.
Yeah, much better. And if I'm looking at what clerics get overall, it's already like very much based on what your what's it called? Your domain is. Like, that's what makes you unique. It makes you less just a heal bot, really. But you still get all of these, like, destroy undead and your channel divinities. Like, clerics already don't get a lot because they get so good, like, base stuff. Right? You don't get anything at 3rd, 7th, 9th, or 15th level. You're good, man. You can destroy undead. You can heal people. You can summon your fucking magic weapons, like, or sorry, spiritual weapons. Like, you're in there, man. You can ask your god for help. Like, you're doing good, man. I don't know. It's weird. But a lot of abilities that are specific for a subclass tend to be specific or situational in nature that make them stand apart. His argument has begun to lose me. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's entirely what a subclass is.
Yeah, exactly. So if we're generalizing this,
situational, the assassin.
Yes. So, like, if we're generalizing the Arcana cleric, then why aren't we generalizing all of them? You know?
It sounds almost like if your goal is to specifically make a character that is relevant in all situations. Kind of sounds like your goal is to marry Sue.
Yeah.
Do I think that this makes it a 10 out of 10? No, but I do think that this puts it in a much better place, and I think that it's going to be a lot of fun to play. So
this is so weird to me. Why would you make something that you don't think is really good? What?
Yeah,
why have you not put in so much effort to make it a 10 out of 10? That's strange to me.
Because he needed a video.
Well, so I'm not gonna be that
Possibly.
cynical, right? Like I'm just
Yeah, it's
I'm just
possible.
confused. It's possible,
Yeah.
sure, anything's possible at this point, but like I'm so confused as to why you would even say that, because I understand, like, yes, there are flaws. Like, nothing's a 10 out of 10. Don't lie to me. But nothing is a 10 out of 10. But man, why wouldn't you strive to be that way? You know? That's just it's just personally weird to me. Anyway.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and in. At level 1, we get 2 things. We first get our domain spells, which have now changed. At least most of them have. We keep Detect Magic and Magic Missile. However, we now get Arcane Lock, keep Magic Weapon, and then now we're getting Counterspell
Arcane
at 5th
Lock
level.
seems pretty specific.
Yeah. Arcane Lock is only, and I'll look it up, but isn't Arcane Lock just for like doors and locks? Like,
Yeah.
let me look. Here we go. You touch a closed door, window, gate, chest, or other entryway, and it becomes locked for the duration. You and creatures you designate that can use the spell open it normally. Passwords, also a thing. Casting Knock can suppress it for 10 minutes. DC increases by 10 to pick or break it. Why?
Yeah.
Because you took away... What did you take away? You took away Nistil's magic aura. The thing that I just looked up.
The thing no one knows what it is.
The things no one knows what it is, but it is really cool now that I know about it. I kind of want to use it more.
Yeah.
Like, being able to make it so that when people scry on you, quote unquote, or not necessarily scry, actually. It would be more just look at your aura in the sense of detecting magic and all that kind of stuff. You can make it so that, let's say you've, in this specific example that I'm going to make up right now. Also, I'm sorry that
In the example that you build for yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
That you are in need of a magical item that is generating necromancy, let's say, okay? But it's like something that you need to get into the city or whatever, and these guards, they have a wizard with them or some sort of magic user with them who detects like all throughout, just to make sure that they know about
People aren't
magical...
bringing like magic bombs into the city and shit.
Exactly. But you need to get this thing in because it's your delivery or whatever the fuck. It could be nefarious. It could be completely harmless. It could be substantially helpful.
It belongs in a museum.
It belongs in a museum. Exactly. And so you would go and potentially change it. So it's just like, oh yeah, it's an abjuration thing. I use this in order to fix, in order to protect my cart, right? Like that's, and they look at it and they go, oh, abjuration magic. Wow, okay.
Of course, yeah.
And so they go, that makes sense. And so they go, and just don't set it off or whatever. And then you go, okay, yeah, good talking to you, sir. Like,
goodbye.
But the other thing is that you can do this over 30 days, and you can make it so that it just lasts for fucking ever. Until you say no more. And it's not a concentration spell either. Like, it's just there.
Oh, damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it just seems, and yes,
but lock though,
right? So this is the thing. Yes, situational, but also arcane lock. Situational.
Yeah, come on.
How many times have you locked a door behind you with arcane lock? Like,
never.
And like, not to. Maybe, and I'll give you this, potentially he has done it a bunch. In which case I go, good for you, you know? Or whoever else has, good for you. I'm glad that you've been able to use the spell a lot, but I'm also
the spell
wondering...
that no one ever uses.
Right. But I'm also wondering why this reasoning can't be applied to Nistil's magic aura. I had to look at the title again.
Why? Yeah, why should... Okay, I have a thought experiment for you.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
Why should an Arcana domain cleric have a spell that makes specifically doors and windows arcane?
Right.
Versus makes fucking anything give off an arcane aura.
Very good point. Because yes, non-magical objects can appear magical. Magical
Or a
object.
person.
A magical object can appear non-magical. Like you can. Oh man, that's so cool. Fuck.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Garibay would strive to be 1,000 out of 10. That is true. He does need to watch our lord. Save your arcane lock for the lock domain, sir.
Goddamn right.
To me, Nastil's magic aura is a spell I use when I run around the world as a counterfeit magic item charlatan, and that's how I scam dumb wizard kids from the school I couldn't afford to get in. Fuck yeah!
I mean, fair.
That's so cool.
That's really good.
That's actually kind of what I was thinking. I'm like,
Hell
you could just be like, hey, yeah, no, it's a magical sword.
Yeah,
And,
Maybe it kind
merchant
of
would be
sparkles
like,
a
"Yeah,
little.
fuck
oh man, I need to now make
But-
a magic
but
item guy who does that.
But I now love the idea, though, of scamming wizard kids.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
So, like, trust fund kiddos.
Now with the fifth thing, I'm like, dispel magic and counterspell. Sure, I'm fine with counterspell being there instead of magic circle. Magic circle is whatever. I think that just makes it so, like, undead and stuff can't come in. Let me make double sure here. Yeah. So it makes it so either undead, elementals, fae, celestials, and fiends. I don't know why I read it in that order. That's not the way that it was written. Any of those can't willingly come in, and if they do, disadvantage against people within, and then people within can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by the creature. So yeah, I mean, that's a good spell too, but counterspell is also good. So okay. You know, I don't see why we need to change, but I'm also fine with it. Oh, and I feel like Arcane Lock is a spell that an NPC would be more likely to use than a PC. Yes. Arcane Eye and Leomund's
loot gremlins away from your stuff.
That's right. Arcane Eye and Leomund's secret chest are fine. Dispel evil and good and legend lore? Instead of so dispel. I don't know exactly what dispel evil and good does. It's a level 5 spell. Why would you? What? Oh, right, cleric level at 9th. That's right. That makes sense. For the duration, celestials, elementals, faes, fiends, and undead have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. Break enchantment as your action. You touch a creature, and charm, frightened, possessed by a celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead, can no longer be charmed, frightened, possessed by those creatures. Dismissal, as your action, make a melee spell attack against a celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead.
This seems less so Arcana and more so planar.
Yeah.
Which I would argue is Arcana, because knowledge of the planes was a thing before, and like that was a thing that only really wizards and bards might know, right? But planar travel is magic, you know.
Yes, planar travel is magic. I do agree. However, magic is more than just planar travel.
That is true, and I get that, and I agree with you. But I will say that this does fit with the theming of at least the channeled divinity of arcane abjuration that the Arcana domain cleric gets, where they can do this basically, or they affect these types of creatures more so. Although this includes undead, which this one doesn't for some reason. But anyway, so whilst I do agree, I think it does fit thematically, but I also don't see why I would change planar binding or teleportation circle for these.
Yeah, teleportation circle would it fits super well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why would you not want to make a teleportation circle so that you can teleport places? Like you become the
Clerics need
teleportation.
a bit of utility. No one plays them.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And legend lore is so specific.
Yeah.
Legend lore, mind you, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
You get to name or describe a person, place, or object, and the spell tells you all the shit that you would want to know about that person, place, or object.
Yay.
Like, and to be fair, it can be very useful in specific circumstances.
Yeah.
But like, why
We
for
ha-
this?
We
Yeah.
have someone that can cast it in our D&D party, and it's somewhat come useful in terms of like lore and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, golly, is it never relevant when we really needed it to be?
Right, exactly. Like, it's so strange. Also, I'm sorry everybody in the stream if the bitrate's really bad and all the frames are dropping. I don't know what's happening. I have no control. So if you can still hear us, that's really what's important. You'll see the VOD. Hey. It'll be great. The VOD will be clear. So this is why I do the VOD, because it's clear. Anyway. So yeah, this already, if the reasoning is, oh, Arcane Cleric is too specific, that's so specific.
Yeah.
Why? And it doesn't make any sense. The Arcane Cleric potentially is just studying all this under their god and knows about the arcane, but legend lore isn't specifically about the arcane, it's about anything.
Yeah.
Very weird. Arcane lock the mimic so it can't unlock itself and eat you. That's a good idea.
That actually would be funny.
When I talked about the arcane domain spell list, I personally don't care because I ran it in a time I didn't know the game as well as I do now. This conversation makes me think changes aren't needed. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I really don't. Oh, am I still here?
Yeah.
Okay, because there we go. Because the bitrate just died. It was at
Yeah,
0.
I heard a little bit of robot in your voice.
Yeah, I'm lagging real bad actually. What is happening?
Yeah.
Hold on, everyone. I don't want to end early because I'd rather it. Let me see if I can figure out what the fuck's going on. Actually, yeah, give me a second. You guys entertain them. I think
So Boo, how was your day?
It was fine. I slept a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have been fighting the same putrid tree spirit like the latter part of last night and so far all of tonight. Because golly,
That sounds like a nightmare.
am I not of an appropriate level for this fight?
Oh, then why don't you just go and level?
Fuck that. What do I look like, a pussy?
Well, at the moment, you sound like a loser.
Yeah, and I am trying to be real hard to be a wiener.
Hmm.
And if I leveled up to an appropriate level, I will no longer be a wiener.
Ah, I see. Ugh.
dude, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, me neither. This is what happens when we talk so much about the spells that get changed.
That's right.
We should just say, oh, he moved some spells. Moving on.
Yeah, you're right. We should give very
and
little.
Podcast over. No.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, can we all react to his changes?
Oh god, no.
No.
Ugh. As long as the bitrate's bad for everyone, I don't mind it being bad for me. I just want to share my pain with the world. We feel pain as a family here. That's right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Sorry, everybody. But hey, look forward to the VOD, I guess.
Yeah.
So you can see it. We'll keep going here. If you leave, I'm fine with that. Like, that's fine. If you can't stand it, that, you know, it makes total sense to me. So anyway, we'll soldier through. So anyway, spell changes, huh? Weird.
Is the ultimate anti-mage. Very powerful, but I don't think that we can go without it, and I think that it is an absolutely amazing introduction to this kit. It makes this kit very strong, and so I really like it, and definitely one to consider using. Arcane Eye and Lehman's Secret Chest, and then at 9th level I changed both of them to Dispel Evil and Good. And
Lehman's Secret Chest allows you to make a chest that is in another plane, I think, or
yeah, I think it lets you summon an extra planar chest that you can store shit in.
Yeah, and I think think it's specifically in the.
I think it's in the astral plane.
Yeah, and you can go find it.
Yeah. Either that or it's like out in the void or something. It's somewhere like really, really hard to get to.
Yeah, here we go. You hide a chest and all its contents on the ethereal plane. That's the one.
Ethereal plane, that's it.
Touch the chest. While it's on the ethereal plane, you can use an action and touch the replica that you make. You gotta make a tiny replica. To recall the chest, it appears in an unoccupied space on the ground within 5 feet of you. You can send the chest back to the ethereal plane by using an action and touching both the chest and the replica. After 60 days, there's a cumulative 5% chance per day that the spell's effect ends. This effect ends if you cast this spell again, if the smaller replica chest is destroyed, or if you choose to end the spell as an action. If the spell ends and the larger chest is on the ethereal plane, it is irretrievably lost. Yeah. So you can fucking lose it forever, friend.
Yep. Unless you go there and find it.
That's right.
Wouldn't that be an interesting campaign?
Yeah.
Hey, you left all your porn in that chest. Now you gotta go find it and delete it.
That'd be an interesting one-shot. High-level party gets hired by a wizard.
Yeah, totally. Welcome to Bitrate Hell. The first rule of Bitrate Hell: Daddy owns all the bits, and he gives, and any he gives out are borrowed on Daddy's dime. That's right. Damn NFTs. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Again, sorry everybody. I don't know what's going on with my internet right now. Maybe it'll reset at some point, but hey.
Are those necessarily better spells? Or is situational? I fully acknowledge that. And Dispel Evil and Good can come up just depending on what happens. But I do think that these are a little bit more on brand with what we are doing. And Dispel Evil and Good kind of replaces what we did with our Channel Divinity before. So spoiler alert, our Channel Divinity has completely changed. So we got Dispel Evil and Good instead, which is similar to what we had before.
So instead of having the thing at 1st level, now we get it at 9th level. But better?
Okay. Question mark?
I just need to know what he put in instead, I guess. We're hearing you mostly fine? Okay, good. Sorry.
So that's kind of my replacement. If you want to still have that flavor, it's there if you want to use it. If you don't, oh well, no big deal. It doesn't take up one of your prepared slots. At level 1, we get our Arcane Initiate feature, and this has not changed all that much. The only thing that has changed is now instead of proficiency with Arcana, we now have expertise. That's the only difference. We still get the 2 wizard cantrips.
But wait, isn't it? You don't get proficiency otherwise. I thought that was the whole point. What if you don't choose proficiency? That means you have to take this proficiency in order for this to be useful now. Hold on. What are we doing? Wait. Yeah. As a cleric, you only get 2 choices of skills from history, insight, medicine, persuasion, and religion.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
What the fuck?
Oh, wait, okay, no. You gain proficiency and your proficiency bonus is doubled. Okay, sorry. Okay, that's my... Okay, never mind. He just said instead. So I was going by his words, because honestly, this font makes me not want to read it. I get it's on a chalkboard, quote-unquote, right? Like, but
But it makes me think like I'm in school.
Well, no,
I want to read it.
It's not just that. It's just I was getting used to, like, the nice presentation of the spell list that we had. And now I don't know. Okay. Doubled for any ability check used to make this skill. You also gain 2 cantrips of your choice from the wizard spell. For you, these cantrips so you just added expertise and Arcana. Okay.
Yeah.
Neat. Why?
Because it's the Arcana.
Oh, well, yo, good quality back? No, it's still dying. In fact, it went to 0 as soon as I read that, so good job.
You ruined it.
It'll either come back or it won't. Either way, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And it is making the video pause.
I didn't think that needed
sucks.
Just as it was. Then we get to the Channel Divinity, and I completely scrapped the original and have made a brand new one, and this is called Arcane Discovery. So what this does is whenever you present your holy symbol for your Channel Divinity, you can use it to cast a spell of 1st through 5th level. Now keep in mind that the level of the spell has to be appropriate with spells that you know in reference to your cleric level. So if you are a 3rd level cleric, and let's say you've multi-classed and now you have 3rd level spell slots, it doesn't matter. You still need to be a 5th level cleric in order to grab Fireball.
Wait, so you just get every spell?
Yeah, I was gonna say this just allows you to cast any spell from your cleric level to from your wizard level. I'm sorry. So you're allowed any spell 1st through 5th level from the wizard spell list for your divinity, your Channel Divinity. I'm sorry. What?
I have a minor contention.
Okay.
Namely, that's very much too good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to highlight a few of these Channel Divinities that you get as a cleric in other domains really quick, just to show a comparison here, because we want things to be balanced.
Do you want your cleric to be every caster ever?
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently.
I like that. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, right.
Ugh.
So quite literally, if you take Divine Domain, you get to let's see, turn undead. That's Divine. Sorry, if you get Knowledge Domain, that's the first domain in the core rulebook on page 59. The Blessings of Knowledge, Channel Divinity, Knowledge of the Ages. I'm sorry, brain. At level 2, you can use your Channel Divinity to tap into a Divine Well of Knowledge. As an action, you choose one skill or tool. For 10 minutes, you have proficiency with the chosen skill or tool. Oh, wow. 10 minutes, I can use whatever? Neat.
Guys, I despise the N on this font, that it's backwards.
Oh, yeah. This whole font is making me want to die. Life Domain allows you to evoke healing energy to restore a number of hit points equal to 5 times your cleric level within 30 feet of you to one person. This feature can restore a creature to no more than half of its hit point maximum. You can't use this on an undead or construct. Oh, they put a limiter here, huh? Whoa, weird. Let's see. Light Domain, you can dispel magical darkness within 30 feet of you, and each hostile creature within 30 feet must make a Constitution saving throw, the easiest saving throw. A creature takes radiant damage equal to 2d10 plus your cleric level on a failed saving throw, and half as much on a successful one. A creature that has total cover from you is not affected. And that doesn't scale, by the way, it just adds. Like, it scales up in the sense of you get 1, then 2, then 3. But the D10s, the 2 D10s, remain the same. You can only do that a few times. Okay. And then, Tempest Domain. When rolling lightning or thunder damage, you can use your Channel Divinity to deal maximum damage instead of rolling. Now, to be fair, that is pretty good. Yeah, but
that
you only get 1 to 3 of those, depending on your level. You get 1 at 2nd level. Your next one is at... let's see. Channel Divinity 2 at 6th level. And then at 18th level is your last one that you can get. So it's a little staggered there. And it can be very good. Absolutely. It can turn the tide for one battle.
Yeah.
Trickery Domain lets you make a duplicate who can be within 30 feet of you, and then you can move around with your bonus action within 120 feet of you, and you can cast spells through it, which is pretty good. But you don't get, I don't know, every spell.
That's essentially just a Rune Knight, though.
Yes.
Or not Rune Knight,
Yeah.
Echo Knight.
Yeah. That's right. And then War is you get a +10 to your attack roll.
Which
You
is
can make the choice after you see the roll.
Pretty good.
Can help with actually hitting, yes, but it's not. It's not.
And fitting.
Yeah, it's true. But it's not. Let's go over to the wizard spell list here.
Oh boy.
It's not being able to cast Alarm, Burning Hands, Charm Person, Chromatic Orb, Color Spray, Comprehend Languages, Detect Magic, Disguise Self, Expeditious Retreat, False Life, Featherfall, yada 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 yada. Every day, even if it's not on your spell list, every fucking day?
Yeah, every fucking day.
That's crazy.
Like,
That's fucking insane, bro.
fuck me.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Why would you even play another cleric
Yeah.
cleric class?
Anyway. Looking for lost porn? Love those Borderlands subquests. That's right.
Oh my god, yeah, that was a Borderlands subquest
That doesn't
or
surprise
side
me at
quest.
all. Oh, wait. It was, but Liam charged them bits to read his spell, putting the bit rate back to shit. Oh, that's right, yeah. Detect evil and good does not equal dispel evil and good. Yes, true. The chest contains a stash of orcish porno mags. It's actually just pictures of weapons. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy the professionalism of Comic Sans. It's not that bad, thankfully.
I enjoy that. I thought, the pictures of weapons.
Yeah.
And I cannot tell if he means 40k orcs or
Or any fantasy.
Either or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could just be pictures of DACA, and I'm
That's right.
I'm imagining those fold out pages that have the
Yeah.
folds out to 4 pages.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's all like a sniper rifle or something.
Yeah.
Okay, at least this says if it needs a material component, it must be provided, but I would argue that because of that you could just use your spell focus, which is your cleric symbol, your holy symbol, instead, because that's how that works. Must have a casting time of 1 action, which is most of them. Cannot be a ritual spell. Cannot be modified to an alternate casting time. For example, Sorcerer's Quicken Spell, Meta Magic. Okay, so you're making it so that you can't benefit from multi-classing with that, which is better, but it's still a lot of spells that you can just kind of do.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So you do have to be of the appropriate level of cleric in order to cast a spell of whatever level it is you're wanting to cast.
You got to see the table seems poorly worded. No. So the table he's referring to is the table that we saw. This was at 4 minutes 53. That we saw here, which is this table, which everything has to correspond with your current level. So first level spells are at first, second level spells are at third level spells at fifth, fourth level spells at seventh, fifth level spells at ninth. It just means the farther along you go in levels, the more access you have to all of the spells in those lists that aren't ritual spells and do cost an action, which is a lot of, if not most of them. This channel divinity is awful, especially since clerics can get multiple channels as they level up and get channel divinity back on short rest. Oh, they can get it back on a short rest? I thought it was once a day because of long rest.
Oh,
no, that
yeah,
can't be right. No. I have to check. I'm sorry. I hadn't. There's no way. There's no way. Channel divinity. When you finish a short or long rest.
Jesus.
Okay, back to 4 minutes 50. Woo!
Spell of whatever level is you're wanting to cast. And there are some other restrictions that I've placed on this as well, because obviously this is a very strong feature.
Yes.
So the other thing is, one, if there are costly components, you still need to provide those, so no free revivifies. You still need to go get your diamonds and things.
Okay, so you mean...
that you can cast Revivify at all?
So...
Well, actually, no. It's
you wouldn't be able to,
fitting
first
that
off, I
click.
don't think, because that's not on a wizard spell list, I don't think, right? Is Revivify a wizard spell?
I don't think so.
A wizard spell?
Yeah, I don't think it's...
I think it's just...
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's just to clerics
It's just
and
cleric and paladin.
Yeah, okay. So why would he say that when that's not a spell you could get from this, then? That's weird. That's just an error on his part, I guess. But, so what he means to put here, instead of, if it requires... Oh, no, it says costly material components. I'm sorry, I can't fucking read this. I hate it. I hate it. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so that's true.
Have to have a casting time of... The big thing is that this, I don't want you to just have free find familiar every day. You definitely need to go get that through other means, because that's really strong. So no rituals being able to be used here. And you cannot modify the casting time. So I gave the example of Sorcerer's Quickened Spell. There are other features that allow you to do things like this in order to change the casting time of things. You cannot modify the casting time with any other feature, so it has to be of an action. So I think that these restrictions are really good. I think that it's necessary in order to make this not super overpowered.
I think it needs to be more restricted, friend.
Because otherwise this could get a little out of hand, and I don't want that.
It could.
So I think this is a really good feature,
It
though.
could
I think
get a
it's
little
worth
out of
using
hand,
your channel
but-
divinity
Yeah.
for, because
Out of hand
it
is
gives you a
a
lot
word
of
choice.
really, really good versatility, and it's very...
Really good versatility, friend. You don't say. Being able to cast any spell from those lists, from those fucking levels. Any
Yeah.
versatility. What if on a short rest?
I would just like to make a simple, humble request.
I would love to
Okay.
give you such a thing.
And it's not a request of you guys.
Oh.
It's a request of the guy who made this class.
Yes.
Play test this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems very exploitable, friend. Already it seems so overpowered, because the fact that I could go, not even a wizard can take a short rest until their 20th level.
Yeah, not even a wizard can take a short rest and get like all their fucking spells back.
Any spells
Yeah.
back. Yeah, that's the thing. It literally
You're
requires
just a
them to be
better wizard.
20th level. I'll double check my facts here, but I'm pretty fucking sure that they don't get them back until then. Here we go. Signature spells. Oh wait, no, that's right. Sorry. There is, I will give you this. There is the fact that you can get arcane recovery, mind you. Once per day, when you finish a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover. These spell slots have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your wizard level, rounded up. And none of the slots can be 6th level or higher. So you're already giving them arcane recovery for a spell every fucking short rest.
What level do they get arcane recovery at?
They get arcane recovery. They get it at 1st level, mind you, which is fair enough.
Okay,
They can only do that once per day. One time they can get their spells back. But these clerics, just because they're part of the Arcana domain, they can basically use all their cleric stuff, but still be totally fine throughout the rest of the day. Because they can just take an hour and go, I got a thing. It's fine. Don't worry. They gotta choose it, to be fair, just like, anybody. But still, every hour, unless you actually actively, as the DM, stop them from doing that, that's a lot of management for the DM, first off.
Mm-hmm.
Second off, like, you don't want to be the guy that goes, hey man, I'm not gonna let you, like, take an hour every chance you get, right? Because, like, it feels kind of targeted in that way, right? Which is, like, not something you want to be doing. I'm gonna just accept the fact that I'm 7 minutes behind now, talking to you from the sun.
Okay.
Not the sun, likely Venus. True. I just.
Oh,
man.
no, it actually does take light 8 minutes from the sun.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yep, it actually takes 8 minutes.
Thought it was 9.
Nope.
Oh.
Then that's
Very
probably
much
not
on-
exactly 8, but yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think this is a really good feature, though. I think it's worth using your Channel Divinity for because it gives you a lot of really, really good versatility, and it's very much on theme with what you have. It's basically your 17th level
it does
feature.
give a lot of
I
versatility.
was gonna say, it gives you so much versatility that why would you never not be one? I don't know.
Light, because you don't learn these spells forever. You just get to use it this one time, but it doesn't like go on your spell list or anything. So
No,
I think it's
No, get to use them forever.
Yeah, you must not have looked at how clerics work, friend. Cause Channel Divinity. Once
You're essentially a warlock mixed with a wizard,
Yeah.
mixed with a cleric.
Yeah.
really cool. If you think it's too OP, let me know. In
It
the
is.
comments.
Yeah.
I have kept part of it and then changed a lot of it. So at 6th level, we now get 2 features built into this. You can now use your magic to thwart the magic of others. So whenever you cast a cleric cantrip that requires an attack roll, you can now increase the DC on their concentration check by a number equal to your proficiency bonus. Now, I don't think that this is super OP because I've limited it just to your cantrips. Now, yes, you can pick up cantrips from the wizard spell list here, things such as Firebolt.
You do realize, isn't Magic Missile now a cantrip?
No.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I was about to say, because, like, Magic Missile is the concentration killer.
Yeah, but also, what are we doing here? Sorry, I need to read this for myself because I didn't understand what he said. Starting at 6th level, your magic can now be used to thwart the magic of others. Whenever you cast a cleric cantrip that requires an attack roll, you can increase the DC on the Constitution saving throw in order. No, that's later. Constitution saving throw in order to maintain concentration on a spell by a number equal to your proficiency bonus.
So instead of 10, it's 12. 12 is a flat. That's a flat roll too. No, wait, no, Constitution.
So wait. So I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Hold on. Whenever you cast a cleric cantrip that requires an attack roll, let me just look at cleric cantrips that require attack rolls.
Toll the Dead.
No, that requires a saving throw.
Doesn't it? Oh, it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Let me just look at the cleric cantrips list here, just to wrap my head around this. I'll choose one. Okay. Sacred Flame. No, that's a saving throw as well. Okay. No, that's true. Now that I'm thinking about it, the cantrips that you took because you're an Arcana domain cleric can be wizard ones, but they count as cleric ones for some, because that's how the wording is, and that's fair enough. Okay, so instead we go warlock. Let's say easiest one, which is or not warlock. Sorry, wizard, which is firebolt. That's an attack roll spell. Okay.
Yeah.
You can increase the DC on the Constitution saving throw in order to maintain concentration on a spell by a number equal to your proficiency bonus. Where are we?
No idea.
I don't know what concentration spell I've now cast or am casting to. Because I've now used my Firebolt.
Mm.
I have rolled my attack roll.
Yes.
But now I have the option. Somebody help me out there, please. Somebody help me. Oh, did the stream die? Oh my god. I'm still a good bit rate. What the fuck? Okay. Well, that's something that's gonna have to be figured out on their ends, because mine's fine.
No.
Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, just refresh. Neat. Okay. So I've cast my Firebolt, and now... Fuck, dude, I don't understand.
Now, I think it's if you cast a Firebolt at an enemy who is maintaining concentration, you make it more difficult for the enemy to maintain concentration.
Okay.
But...
if that's the case, then this is terribly worded.
yes.
Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely fucking awful. I have no idea what this means, like, just from reading it, which is so bad.
Yeah, that's very bad.
Jeez. I can interpret it because this is how I word sentences when I poorly word sentences, and and I go, yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's dead on me for me on mobile. I guess if you haven't refreshed, then the wizard's already powerful, and the only real limit to their power is needing to acquire spells. This breaks even that, and it can be a cleric too. Yes.
Yeah.
The thing that limits wizards is not only that they have to acquire the spells, but also that they have to take a long rest.
Yes. Also true.
And this, in one fell swoop, destroys both.
Yeah. The weirdest YouTube fuck up I've had. It just sent me to another video. Back now. Oh, jeez.
That's very strange.
Well, some of you are coming back, so that's good. I'm actually like down to just 2 minutes behind now. We're warping through time and space, I guess.
Jeez.
I guess so. Yeah.
Maybe YouTube fucking up gave you time to catch up.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry out there. My internet dying just apparently fucked everything. So that's usually the case anyway. Game breaker. Yes, that's what this is, not spell breaker.
Yeah.
I just got back from Earth X. There you go. Okay. Anyway, so and then he has the same. Wait, that's more than the same thing. Is that? Hold on. I need to look at the actual thing again.
Yep.
This is confusing the fuck out of me, and that's not good. Yeah, no, he added more. Okay. Additionally, when you cast a spell that restores hit points of first level or higher, you can also end one spell of your choice on that creature. The level of the spell you end must be equal to or lower than the level of the spell slot you use to cast the healing spell. Yep. If the spell is a higher level than the healing spell you cast, make an ability check using your wisdom modifier. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level on a success. The spell effect is ended once you use this feature. Once you use this feature successfully, you may not use it again until you complete a long rest. Okay, but you realize that you've just made it so that I can heal a dude with a first level spell slot and then attempt to break a 9th level spell.
Yes. Which is very stupid.
What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I would make it when you cast Cure Wounds, like, of a level that is the same level of the spell.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it was. That, like, it literally...
Oh.
It was just... When you heal somebody, whatever level healing you did to them, if they're suffering from Charm Person, say, and you just do Healing Touch. Sorry, that's not the spell, but you know what I mean. Cure Wounds. Yeah. You do Cure Wounds on them, you can break that Charm Person because it's the same level, right? fair enough, sure. And it goes up from there. But with this, it just adds an additional, oh, I'm fucking, yeah. I guess I'll just break everything once a day, sure.
Yeah.
Like, why add that? Why change the first bit? The first bit, I'm like...
It was already good.
Yeah, it's already good enough. Why are we making it the best?
The best! The best! The best! God damn it.
Alright, stream died for me. Just had to close it and open it again. Well, hi, boys. Sorry.
Alejo, look at what you've done.
I know, it's all my fault. I'm sorry. Technical difficulties. They spring up
Look at
again.
what you've done to these men.
That's right.
And Firebolt did just get bumped here last level at 5th level. And the thing about cantrips is typically, if it's a decent spellcaster with at least an okay constitution and they're not rolling terribly, they're gonna make their save most of the time against a cantrip.
What spellcaster has constitution?
Dude, I don't fucking know.
I don't know, but also, like, what are we talking, like, if
where
you have
are
constitution, yeah, where am I, friends? Where are we? What, like, he's talking about Firebolt and how it's gotten better, and then he's talking about this concentration stuff, and I'm like, I understand now what you're talking about, but I don't, why
you're talking about.
What, like, because this is the thing. We're increasing the DC on a concentration check. For who?
The target.
But if the target is having a concentration spell, then they're using a concentration spell, which is going against you. So you're making it better for them? But no, what I think he's trying to say is that he's increasing the concentration that he can have on his spells or so. Dude, I'm lost.
Okay, well, hang on.
I actually don't understand what's so difficult about this. Like, that all, Alejo, what you just said sounded like gibberish. It just means that you add your proficiency onto the DC for a concentration check to your target. So so you damage your target. Yeah. Your target normally has to roll a 10. They now have to roll a 12. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry then, because, like,
it is terribly worded. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is worded poorly.
My brain is having such a fucking hard time with it. I literally can't parse that sentence.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. You've just witnessed my like immediate
your upper
brain
your limit.
death. Yeah,
I've witnessed Bames Nond having a stronk and called the Bodulance.
Yes, you have. I couldn't for the life of me understand that, man. I really couldn't.
Have you ever been allergic to a sentence before?
I just was, friend. I just was. It's... Wow, I'm sorry. Oh, man. Okay. Anyway, did this guy explain why he thought it needed fixing? Was it because it wasn't overpowered? No, it's because it was too specific. That's why the whole thing was too specific for him.
It's too situational.
Yeah, apparently. Gonna have to watch the VOD to know what's going on right now, though. Oh, that's so you'll witness my brain death. You were so occupied by whether you could to ask whether you should. That's right. I just need it to be off my screen.
A little bit of a higher chance whatever spell it is out of their hands. Is it going to happen all the time? Absolutely not, but it's worth a shot, right? And you can use this feature as many times as you want until you get a success. So this is the kind of thing that I wanted to build into this. There are some other.
Oh, you're
ridiculous.
Right. Oh, you're fucking right. It only says once you use it successfully.
That's bullshit. If it fails, they should be immune to it for the rest of the day, like pretty much every other important effect on a monster.
Oh my god. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Anyway, let's move on. We've wasted way too much time on this.
I know.
Classes that we haven't covered
Bad addition.
that allow you to use a feature as many times as you want and don't
Not
expend
too
a
often I
resource
see something
until
that's
you
wholly
actually,
bad.
until you actually succeed. And I
Can't look
wanted
at
to do
it.
that
It's so
here.
it's
So
breaking
not
me.
use the feature unsuccessfully, however many times. You can do this a number of times, and at least once per long rest. The other part of this is a very strong part of this, and so the reason I linked these together is because they're very similar in how they work, and it just depends on how you want to go about it. Do you want to attack the caster, or do you want to heal your friend? Either way, this does effectively the same thing, but they just function a little bit differently for the purposes
There's only two
of
more.
balance.
Oh, thank God. There's only two
So
more things.
Whenever you cast a first level spell or higher that heals, you can end a particular spell on the target. So you go to heal your barbarian that's
kinda in
caught
fight or flight
in
mode,
the
man.
hypnotic pattern.
Yeah.
So you cast a first level cure wounds. Normally that wouldn't work, and so you've got to cast up at third level in order to do that. The problem I have with this is that you straight up just don't get a chance to win that encounter. And
No,
I
don't.
think that
Just
with
ignore
you
it.
being so studied in this, that you should have a chance
fuck does he
to
mean?
at least.
I don't know. It doesn't
try
matter.
To
No, it
knock that
does.
spell out
No.
of your hands, and so
You've
we
used up your
are-
full hour of complaining about
we're
one
adding
thing.
counters
You're
to
good.
the mechanics. So
Well, that's
Yeah.
not. See, that's not what I'm complaining about.
He has raised the DC on your concentration check.
Yeah.
You're right about that. But like, he's talking about how you can't win an encounter, and that's completely different to everything that he's been saying. I don't
Yeah.
understand what the fuck.
But we would have to go back and re-listen to the whole thing again,
That's
and
the
I don't
whole-
really feel
well,
like
so-
doing that.
Yeah,
Well, so-
I have
And-
neither the time nor the
I
inclination.
understand. It's just.
Yeah.
He just
No, I
sprinkles that
know.
in there, and it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
And by sort of, I mean a lot. So basically, if the spell is a higher level of the healing spell that you cast, you now can make an ability check using your wisdom mod, and the
Christ,
DC
we're still
is
here.
10 plus the
Yep.
spell's level. And on a success, the spell effect is ended. This falls under the same note of once you do this successfully, once per long rest, then you have to rest again. The reason I wanted to put this restriction on there really is because there's a fine balance to be struck here of you feeling powerful versus your DM's spellcasters feeling useless. You don't want your DM to never want to bring spellcasters against you, because that is too powerful. Because if you have this and you can do this however many times per rest, you can just shut down, essentially you can shut down anything that your dungeon master wants to do anytime you want. And so that's unfortunate. You already get counterspell, and so I don't want
Does anyone else get one take vibes?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like he's for some reason he's not seeing what he's saying, because he's saying that if he didn't put this restriction in that it would be on a success that you could keep doing it. If he didn't put the restriction in that it would not do that, that you would be able to end all of your DM's spell effects. Whereas he hasn't realized that his channel divinity changes have also done that. Because instead of it being on success, it's every short rest. Once you hit, like 5th level? Let me see. Yeah, 5th level, and you get access to Counterspell, you can use your Channel Divinity to use Counterspell.
Yeah.
Unless
On a short rest.
on a short rest.
Yeah.
And that will fuck over every encounter, at least for one thing, and that will make your DM not want to use spellcasters.
I have a feeling that he said, "Oh, you know what would be cool if they could use anything on the wizard spell list," and he never looked through the wizard spell list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at some topsy-turvy clown world shit, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
this feature plus counterspell to get out of hand with how many uses you would get. So yeah, this is a hard once per long rest type thing. And of course, like with the cantrip one, if you want to add that to the DC, you can. You don't have to. You can if you want to. So that's really, really cool as well. The 8th and 17th level features I did not change. I didn't think that those needed anything extra, especially since the 8th level feature is pretty universal across all clerics. So there's not a whole lot of reason to change it. And then Arcane Mastery is already super busted, so I didn't think I needed to change it at all. So
wait. So he acknowledges that something is quote super busted.
Quote.
Mhm.
And does not need changing.
Mhm.
So that implies that his goal is not balance, but making the most powerful character he can. Congratulations, you were successful in your
did it.
goal.
Right,
Was it worth it?
That's the implication, right? You've broken a man.
Round of applause.
Yes, that's the implication, but that isn't what he means. I know that for a fact. Like that's
I sure hope so.
I don't.
Dude, I have to think that this was made with good intentions. Like, cause just to make it as busted as possible is fucked. Like, and already, I will say, at 17th level, it's busted, quote unquote. Oh, you get one spell from 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th that are always prepared. That it just means that you can...
That is actually pretty good.
It's good. Is it busted? I don't think it's busted. Besides, you're at 17th level, my friends. You're at the point.
You're pretty broken as it is.
Yeah.
You're at the point. Yeah. Hold up. Okay, there are many things here. I'm getting a sense that it's basically a cheat mod.
Yeah.
In the past 10 minutes, I had the stream die, listened to a lunatic rewrite a subclass that doesn't need it, had a shot in my abdomen to fight blood clots, and finished taking meds. This guy.
Oh.
Dude.
There you go. This guy lives in the isekai state of mind. If it's not overpowered or I'm not winning easily, it's wrong. I'm personally curious to what other subclasses he revised to make better. It's true, this is only the first of his cleric things. He probably went through a few others too.
Yeah, I'm seeing Arcana subclass guide and power ranking, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
This guy reminds me of that one draconic patron warlock homebrew that only existed to be OP. Yeah. This guy just looked at his cleric subclass and said, "This doesn't work the way I think it should, therefore it should be changed to be more." And you did not revise the arcane subdomain, sir. You made Kirito. Ooh. Ouch.
You made Nerdy Toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have changed. I know it's a short video, but I think it's really good. I think
Sure didn't
this
feel
makes
that
some
way.
meaningful changes. And so if you think so, let me know in the comments. If you don't think so, let me know. Of course, this has not been play tested, so I'd love to hear your feedback.
No shit.
Until next week, when we talk about the Death Domain Cleric and see just where it ranks, I will see you all later.
was your
Stay
first
safe out there.
draft,
Stay healthy.
friend.
We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Now, I appreciate that you went to
Dude.
a peer review audience to get your feedback, but man, oh man, you should have thought about it a little bit more. Your fucking name is Snappy and Cool.
His name is Snappy and Cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the comments on this video. There's 2! Hold up. Talking about Dungeon Dudes, that's one of the videos that I had prepared. Often hard to find good channels like that. It's just really wholesome stuff of like, good job. Yeah, it's nothing about the video, really. Okay.
Cool.
Like, and I'm fine with, you know,
As
hey,
expected.
he's a smaller channel, let's support him.
Yeah.
Like, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely.
If his content is good, sure.
Yes. In general, if you're going to post a video saying like, "Hey guys, I made this homebrew," play test it before you submit it.
Yeah, at the very least.
That'd be nice.
It's the same as proofread a paper before you submit it.
Yeah.
Like when we did ours, right? When we did ours, we took extensive amounts of time thinking about how this would play into the like everything at the time. Like all the spells, all the other classes. We wanted it to feel unique and not take away from the other classes, but not be
and not be broken.
Right,
So,
not be so.
Admittedly, did we play? I don't think we played
We
tested
didn't-
before.
we didn't-
We never did.
We didn't play test, but we theory crafted. Really, we went mechanics on mechanics at least.
No, we did do that. We did like,
Which is-
okay, how does a third level like astral sorcerer stack up against a third level so and so?
Yes, exactly. So like we went through that and tried to make it feel like it could be possible to play a party of them, but also not be like the party is centered around this one character that is this class, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, man, oh man, do I feel like I just want to be this guy?
Yeah.
Like,
Not much point in being anybody else.
that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's fucked up. My brain hurts. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to comments. How about that?
Okay.
I assume the Greek gods probably aren't powerful enough for him. Playtests, have some people review it before bringing it public. So again, like, I'm fine with him bringing it to the public. It's just, maybe he should have thought about it a little bit more. I don't know. It's just, for 2 seconds, if he read how Cleric Divine fucking Channel Divinity works.
Or bring it up to like other people and say, hey, what do you think?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, comments, so that my brain can read something that's sensible and not written in a horrendous font. Okay, so Unirico, or 2 weeks ago, in fact, posted a thing, it was only 3 days ago, but it was on our episode 2 weeks ago. I mostly missed all the memes about D&D 4e being terrible. The first TTRPG I played was 5e, though I was initially introduced to 3.5 and read the books years ago. But honestly, from what I'm hearing here, there's some really interesting ideas. I don't really understand the criticism that giving non-combat encounters mechanical depth automatically means it replaces role-playing. It may just be recency bias, but the skill challenge mechanic reminds me of how pretty much all skill checks work on Fallout 2D20. Anytime you want to attempt something, you select the most appropriate skill and special attribute and make the roll. Most regular checks have attribute and skill recommendations, but if you can justify using other things by perhaps playing into the role that is your character. For instance, the characters I DM found a locked first aid kit. Normally you'd roll perception plus lockpicking, but one of the characters, who is a circus strongwoman, decided to whack the lock with her baseball bat instead, using strength. Sure, this is something you could easily house rule in any TTRPG, but having the entire skill check system revolve around this mechanic, to the point of actively suggesting several alternatives for the standard combinations, actively encourages embodying your character and tackling challenges in a way that suits them best, which surely is exactly what role-playing is all about? Anyway.
Yeah, right?
Maybe.
You would be surprised, apparently. Anyway, congrats on the 100 episodes. Here's to 100 more. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you make a lot of sense. It's almost like you're right. August.
We will objectively say you are right.
That's right. August said on last week's episode, Friday I got into a car accident that fucked up my right femur so bad I had to get rods placed inside it and my leg. Having to recover in the hospital, listening to Garibay nonsense was one of the few things that made my day. Glad for that.
I have also had to have pins put in another bone, which was not the car accident. That was when I wrecked my arm snowboarding.
There you go.
But, yeah, no, I'm 25 years old and getting uncomfortably close to no longer being able to count the scars of my body on 2 hands.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, at least something like this is just a wish list. Let me know what you think I should get rid of and what you think I should keep. At least say something like this. Oh yeah, for his thing. Yeah, absolutely. Something like that. Anyway, Lux said on last week, honestly, I don't think Garibay would really refuse to help someone just because he wasn't playing D&D with them. I'm more inclined to think that he was just talking out of his ass on that point.
Like he is wont to do.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just kind of funnier when we take it literally.
I hope you're right, but I honestly don't know.
Yeah, it's true. As far as criticizing his argument goes, the troubling implications of what he was saying should be pointed out. But as far as assuming that what he would actually do in real life, it would be quite extreme if those implications actually reflected what he would really do. More likely, he didn't really think about what he was saying, and he just jumped on a point that he thought he could make. This is one more reason why saying whatever comes off the top of your head while ranting in your car isn't the best way to make a video.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Overall, I would generally say that you should treat your players like grown-ass adults.
Yeah.
As a DM, you're just there to tell them what's happening in the world around their characters and determine the rest of whatever they attempt to do. If necessary, you do have the power to make someone leave the game, but you should only throw that around if they're ruining it for other players and refuse to moderate their own behavior when asked. It's really not the DM's place to control everyone at all times and make sure nobody is ever at risk of being offended or upset. You can use your pull as the DM to help settle any conflicts that arise between players, but wait until someone actually needs your help before you step in.
Yes.
In theory, I would agree that you should do your best to establish the do's and don'ts in session 0. But in practice, someone might forget to mention something that would bother them, or they might not realize something would bother them until it actually happens. Or they just might not have expected something to come up, so they didn't think it would be worth mentioning. So basically, it's good to address as much as you can in session 0, but you should always still be prepared to resolve any unexpected problems when they arise, and obviously not have some kind of mentality of, you didn't mention it in session 0, so you're going to have to live with it now. Yeah, of course. But still, you should expect the players to speak up for themselves. The DM isn't there to decide what flies and what doesn't for everyone else. If someone is uncomfortable but doesn't say anything, then that is unfortunate, but they need to speak up. Of course, if the DM is personally uncomfortable with something, then they do have every right to keep it out of their own game. And I will say that the DM should make sure the atmosphere is one where people do know that that they can speak up without retaliation if something bothers them.
Yes.
Of course, there are a few subjects that you probably should just not bring up by default. Hopefully, you can use your common sense to figure out what they are. For those, nobody should need to mention them at any point as being something they're not comfortable with. If you specifically want to bring one of those subjects into the game, whether you are the DM or a player, you should proactively ask what other people think about it first, rather than expecting other people to go out of their way to specify they don't want to deal with it. Obviously, if anybody indicates that they're not okay with something, then you either don't include it, or you go out of the room to address it away from them.
I make sure to corner all of my prospective players and ask them their political inclinations.
Oh, yeah. That's why I've never played under Aiden.
Helping new players learn how to play probably is something you'll end up needing to do as a DM, unless you only ever play with one specific group of people. Granted, they can probably just pick up the PHP and learn the mechanics on their own. And if they actually do need help with that, other players could give them help just as easily as the DM could. But when it comes to the practice of role-playing in an actual game, it will probably be mostly the DM who will need to encourage them to think in character and get them to actively engage with the fictional world. If they're making a character that isn't designed to interact with the rest of the party, it will probably fall to the DM to get them to moderate that character so they can form an actual connection with the other characters. If that character is shaping up to be edgy self-insert with dark powers and a tragic backstory, it will probably be the DM who will need to work with them on developing some more creative traits. And ultimately, once the game actually starts, it will be up to the DM to make sure the world reacts appropriately to what the character does, so that the player will see that their actions will, in fact, have consequences. With all that said, Garibay is massively overselling it, but I do think D&D or roleplay in general can be a tool for personal growth. It's not the next stage of human evolution, of course. You're not going to overshadow William Shakespeare by playing D&D, but you can improve yourself. In fact, I think you naturally will improve yourself if you're actually role-playing and not just trying to win D&D. Though I also am inclined to think that trying to force personal growth out of D&D probably only makes it a less effective tool for that. And if you wrap yourself up in a sense of smug superiority because of it, you're only slowing that growth. Though personally, I'm only into D&D so I can learn how to cast spells and summon demons.
You know what? And that is legitimate. And, yes, legitimate. I mean,
Yeah.
I have no other point, but,
Yes.
I will verify, at least personally, I've, figured out more about myself because I play D&D, and because I discovered more about myself, you could say, grammatically, yes, I evolved.
Yeah, so we want to be categorical about it, I guess.
But I don't feel like I'm part of a different species now. Well, I do feel sometimes I'm part of a different species,
but not because of D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, those are comments. Thanks, everybody. I gotta get out of here.
I gotta go.
I gotta go. Thank you again to our patrons. That's of course from the top: Draco Kraken, Mog Zero, Rick, aka Unirico, Slazer, Steely, Drake Cross, Chris, Frozen Spaghetti, Kill Chrono, and Lux, the Fiendish Fool. Thank you again to all of you. One more time, I want to apologize for the bitrate, and I want to apologize for my absolute mental breakdown that I didn't realize that I would have today. I don't know what it was, but a combination of the sight and the sounds and just everything about it, I could not. I just couldn't. It was crazy. That's the first time that's happened. I'm gonna die.
Okay.
You had a stroke.
Something, man. I could read the words, but man, could I not understand what was happening.
It was eldritch knowledge.
It was some madman's insight, my man.
Yeah. That's what it'll be like when you're 80. You'll get used to it.
Oh, fuck me. I can't wait until I'm dead. So yeah, thanks again to everybody that stuck around, everybody that watched, and those of you in the VOD, and all of that. If you're new, think about subscribing. Think about it. If you want to do it, that's up to you, really. I leave that choice to you. But other than that, one other thing. I should have said this in the beginning, but apologies to the audio listeners. I still haven't put out last week's episode yet. It'll go up tomorrow. Yeah, I'm a dick. And tomorrow will also be, I'll put up Devils and Dice, the session we did last week, which also had really bad bitrate problems. So that seems to be common. So, cool. Haha. Anyway, that was more because of, I don't know what that was actually. It was a different day and all that shit. So, anyway, we'll see you next week, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good, indeed. Good evening. Or afternoon. I don't fucking know.
I'm not your dad.
Fucking, I don't know.
Not
You
father time.
Could be watching the VOD. I don't know. Get the fuck out.